All right, so that's sex trafficking, no. Count 1, no. Count 3, yes. Mann Act, Cassie.
And,
now
and
we have
count
Jane.
3 is Mann Act Cassie.
Correct. So now we just have Jane sex trafficking and sorry, I'm yelling. Jane sex trafficking and Jane Mann Act.
Sex trafficking, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution, Jane, guilty.
Wow, so 2 of the Mann Acts. 2 Mann Acts and that's it.
Up to 20.
20 years.
But, you know what? But that may be concurrent, and the prosecution.
Well, it's 2 separate acts. It wouldn't be.
This is a.
Oh my
even
God.
though he's found guilty, huge. This is a loss for prosecutors.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole point was Diddy was a racketeer who forced them into sex. The jury said no.
This is the entire case now is just a simple prostitution case.
It's a prostitution case.
It's about to go down. Michael Sean in the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me. Jay Black, sexy.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my 6-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
What? Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever. Tight shirts in the morning at work and when I grieve. I even wear tight pajama tops when I sleep. Tight shirts. Tight shirts. Tight shirts. Yeah. Tight shirts. Come on. Tight shirts. Come on. Tight shirts. Come on. Tight shirts. Every day. My son wears tight shirts. To the gym or wherever. Tight shirts. Tight shirts. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Aaron Smith, a.k.a. Fearless, is in the building, rocking with us. Chill. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a Takeover Legend night show. Chill. What up, Doc? What's going on with you?
Big day, Mike.
Big day. This is, Jay's not here. He's we're gonna wait for him to come on. This is what I officially call the distraction show. This is the distraction show. And the title is Did He Beat People and the Rico? Will he avoid prison? So we're gonna get into all that, but I want to reiterate. Hakeem Jeffries right now is on the Senate floor. Stalling for time. He's been on for 2 hours. Now, I'm gonna need Dr. Aaron Smith, my man Fearless,
Filibustering, right?
Is number one, Donald Trump has actually reached out. He tweeted that Mega is mad to the Republicans who originally stood their ground and said they wouldn't sign, they wouldn't vote. He tweeted, he had phone calls behind the scenes. When time was no longer remaining, they made some stipulation that they can go as long as they want with the meetings, the sidebar meetings, where I guess they were 5 votes.
Yeah, he told them they can go home and keep doing the 5-minute joints, you know.
Right.
But the Democrats' response was those 5-minute joints because MAGA Mike Johnson tried to like jump in the middle and be like, y'all can go take a recess and figure it out. And everybody's like, no, you ain't got the votes. Let's vote. So then, you know, the Republicans tried their strategy with stalling, and now the Democrats are like, okay, well, if that's what we're going to do, then we all just going to keep getting in line and addressing everybody. And then when we get a chance to go hard, we're going to do a Cory Booker. So, but it's a bad sign for the bill. That's a good sign for the people.
My question is, for some reason, because this is not sports, so I don't know the inner line details, and that's my fault. Why is it so necessary that they have to get this done by Friday?
They don't, not at all. Trump wants a party. He said it. He said he wanted to celebrate freedom on 4th of July. He did the same. He did the same thing with his birthday in the parade. He said, it's just a coincidence.
So this is all based on just having a celebration for the propaganda.
When people, and I never thought about this too, because I don't know if I ever had a party personally, like growing up. People who know me all my life, they never celebrated my birthday with me. It's just something I didn't do. But I realized that for some people, it's like not having a father. It could be like getting abused. Like Trump needs, at some point, he's going to do anything. People are dying for this. He told them that we were wasting and abusing and frauding, and then went and spent over $40 million on a parade in their face. Right. Then he told them the tanks are so heavy they're going to break the streets up. We're going to need another 20 or more million to fix the streets of DC when I leave, because I want to have a party for 3 hours. Like there's something seriously, deeply psychologically wrong going on when somebody's like, no, my party, my party, my party. That whole, I can cry if I want to. It's not cool when it's the president. Like it's the emperor's new clothes on steroids. Because and even one of the guys said, this bill intersects with 3 separate committees. There's no way we should be doing this in a few hours. It just makes no sense that you're even pushing us to do this. The majority of us haven't read the full bill. The bill is changing. Yeah, this is about ego and authoritarianism and loyalty and trying to make people bend the knee to the dictator. And he's already threatened everybody. He said, I'm going to primary you. I'm going to get you out of office. It's political suicide if you go against me, which is tyrannical.
Now, what makes this bizarre, and maybe I'm being naive, he keeps threatening with the primary threat.
Mm-hmm.
And but my question is, if you pass this bill, you're sinking yourself for the primary if the propaganda is spread correctly by the rest of the country and the Democrat. Honestly, at this point, the Democrats really just have to say, this is what's going to happen now. This is not our opinion. This is what you're about to lose now. This is not, look, you can look at the bill. I can put a screenshot on this part right here. I can show you this. This is what's about to happen. So is there another plan that they have?
Yes,
he's sabotage the primaries.
He's hoping that more people think like him. He thinks he's more normal than he is.
Right.
He thinks people are gonna say, like the scene in the Titanic where they're playing the violins on 45-degree angles as the boat sinks. They said they fiddled as Rome burned historically when they talk about the fall of the Roman Empire. The queen said, let them eat cake when the people were starving. And like, there's a lot of instances where people are like, as long as I have my power, people's lives be damned. And Trump is like, wait, y'all not on it like I'm on it? Y'all don't just care about y'all election, even if the country has to suffer. That's what I've been doing for the last 100-something days. I've been destroying the whole country, and I've been collecting power like Thanos were, getting these Infinity Stones. Y'all ain't on that too? Y'all don't want to just make sure that y'all good? That's why they said we said yesterday with Hawaii and Alaska. If I just give you a little bit, won't you let everybody else suffer? And she was like, I guess, right? And he's like, look, everybody, see, that's how it works. Y'all just make sure y'all get reelected. Don't worry about the 11 million people that's going to get kicked off Medicare, Medicaid. Don't worry about the people who are going to have their community centers closed, pools closed, libraries closed. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry, the FEMA's not going to come put out any fires and save people from floods. Your focus should be, that's why he keeps talking about that. Primary. He's saying nothing about death, nothing about starvation, nothing about suffering, nothing about veterans. He thinks that they're going to take the devil's bargain and be like, you got to look out for me, though. And people have done that throughout history. There's been some Judases and some sellouts and some people who are power hungry, but I don't think enough of them are so power hungry that they're willing to be the last Republican representative of their district because they destroy the country in the process.
Now, Jay Black's in the building. What up, Jay? Jay Black's in the building.
Yeah, the Kamala shirt. Okay, I told you so, John.
Yeah, Kamala.
Yeah, that F around you, and now you're finding out. Okay.
Well, speaking of Kamala, Paramount, the company Paramount, who owns CBS, just paid out a huge settlement lawsuit to Donald Trump for an interview that he wasn't even a part of. It was Kamala's interview, where they said it was strategically edited. And this is him showing how he can intimidate the media, which the media is bought. It's bought. It's there. This is why Diddy's such a huge deal. This is the distraction. That's why I'm calling this the distraction show. This is the distraction show, and we're going to take part in it because I know you guys are interested. and we're gonna do it. But not only that, I'll give you one better. Stephen Miller, his committee or company, I forget what it's called, has now filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Dodgers for a DEI violation when they celebrated the Negro League and had the teams wear throwback jerseys.
Oh, it's against the rules in certain states. You're not allowed to support DEI. Okay, keep going.
Now, like I told you, the owner of the Dodgers is also invested in ICE. So I guess Stephen Miller is saying, "You mother sucker, you were invested in ICE, and now you're gonna celebrate black people." This is what it is. Now, remember, this is where I intertwine black and Latinos. Satchel Paige and Latino players who played in the Negro League. Without them, this baseball league isn't what it is. This is not DEI. Actually, the reason why they took Jackie Robinson from the Negro League is because the New York Yankees had been beaten by a Negro League team. And they realized the athletes in there were about to dominate. So anyway, back to that point, they're now trying to get, now this is the same ownership that also owns the Los Angeles Lakers now. So this is a crazy dynamic on how they are trying to intimidate and make sure they try and get every leak and try and involve baseball, basketball, which just happens to be about 75% black. And these are the intricacies of a dictatorship and fascism that has now come across, that they are trying to control everything. Everything.
A tough time with the Negro League one, because you probably know, Mike, because you know more about sports than me. But I talked to one of the brothers, Lester, who does. He's a former scholar of the Negro Leagues, and he was celebrating how the statistics from Negro Leagues have been officially incorporated since 2024 into the MLB. Right, so it's like you have a firm argument saying these are baseball statistics. This is baseball history because the official entity has officially recognized. But like you said, you already sent the message. You already sent the bullying message. So nobody really even cares about what happens in court. Right. Similar to, I was looking up the merger, because I just found out yesterday, because I was wondering to myself, why did Paramount pay the money? And then I saw a story that revealed there's a merger that they were doing with Skydance.
Absolutely.
That was valued at $8 billion. Then it was going to have a total estimated value of $28 billion. So I'm like, you know what? My money's not their money. So what I think is a lot of money, when you say 16 million, they're like, yo, bro, we're about to do a $28 billion deal.
Yes, of course.
So you get this orange guy, because he got power and he can mess this up for us. And then that's pretty much what the heads were thinking in terms of the stakeholders and everybody else and the shareholders. You don't want anybody to pull out, right? You want everybody to be happy. You want everybody to make their money. You want to keep your position. So they were like, you know what? Pay him. It's unfortunate. It's going to have a trickle-down effect to everybody else, especially people who don't have that kind of money. That's the real danger. Where it's like he can decimate other companies and put them completely out of business. So CNN pays, Paramount pays, but the rest of us, like that animated movie Ants, when you talk about if all of them rebel, the danger of it, right? So now everybody else is going to buckle. So that's his goal, is to get everybody fearful.
It's the senator from Alaska's mentality. Hey, I got to be good. So I mean,
got to keep my job.
I got to keep my job. And let's make this happen. And
even there's no country to work in, but I'm gonna have my job in this Mad Max country.
And so I'm very interested in what these primaries are going to look like and what is going to be the sabotage that's about to happen. And it's going to just when I think it can't get worse, it will get worse. It's going to get worse. And now with this filibuster and what they're trying to do with Hakeem Jeffries on the Senate floor. So if they stay that long, does the vote still not eventually happen?
It gives people a chance to, in this instance, like you said earlier, read the bill.
Read the bill.
That's the thing too. You know that time is on your side if all you need people to do is actually know the facts. Now, just like if you're somebody trying to get with a girl for one night and you got a wife and a girlfriend, the Bible says make something that's unseemly seem seemly. So you start whispering in her ear, even though you're only two people in the room, right? I'm saying though, right? You're trying to get it going. You're like the car dealer who's like, no, don't leave the lot today. I want to make a deal with you. Like the person who's doing wrong wants to rush things. The person who wants to fool people and offer confusion always wants you to do it today. How can I get you to sign today? How much you want to pay a month? I know you got a boyfriend, but come on now, he don't own you. Like the person doing wrong. So the people who are on the right side, they're like, if I stall, people are going to see And we're going to keep one cross-examination. The guy started citing all these conservative sources who are saying how many people are going to be removed from Medicare. And it made the guy look so stupid. It's like, you don't agree with them? You don't agree with them? You don't agree with this? And it's like, because they were trying to say, well, there's no way to tell how many. And he ran through all these sources. And you can see the people behind them just like wincing because like these people are going to die. These veterans, and there are people who rely on this to sustain their life. People who get their meds in the morning and in the afternoon. One lady said they're asking for all this paperwork from people who I give meds to in the morning to help them get up and meds in the night to go to sleep. They're not going to be able to do anything that's being required, even if it is available. So there's a lot of people they're predicting. Then there's probably going to be an overflow of people who just get frustrated. They said a lot of people get frustrated from the paperwork.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
in one instance, they're saying making people who are on Medicare re-sign every 6 months is going to be something that they're fixated on because they know. I know what it was to give me on healthcare. I know the hours and the fact that I was removed from healthcare, the healthcare that I was on, and they admitted that I shouldn't have been removed.
Yeah, what you say yesterday? My bad.
Yeah, my bad. and I said, so put me back on. Okay, we'll have to start the process again, and we will send you. And so I said, so what you're telling me is that nothing changed. What the documents I sent you, I did send you, right? Yes, you did. I did send you the pay stubs. Yes, you did. I did send this to you. Yes, you did. But you were taken off. It was you were incorrectly removed, and we have to start the process again to get you back on. This is
you messed up, but we got to fix it.
We in order to fix it. Now,
hey, Mike, I messed up. We got to.
Yeah, my bad. Like Jay said, my bad. But and then I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on and get to Jay Black what did with his night. It goes back to this: the devil are those pharmaceutical companies who brought this, who made this the big business. Healthcare was never supposed to be a business. College was never supposed to be a business. Fucking religion was never supposed to be a business. And this is the capitalism, and this is the gift and the curse. And the curse is the devil when we start this. But that's a long story, and we won't go down that rabbit hole because this is called The Distraction Show, where we talk about Diddy. The Distraction Show. Jay Black, how was your night? What went on? Anything new? Did you watch Love in Long Island? Did you watch
I did. I watched
couples of Shady in Long Beach. What was it that you would
Love Island USA? I did watch that. But also I was talking to a lot of family. They think it's a scam. So Lady Q always finding like little gems for us. You ever heard of the unclaimed money? Do you?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
All right, good. So she got my Jersey money. I didn't. Got checks in the mail. Cool. She just checked patreasury.gov and there's another. I was like, oh, some more unclaimed. So I did it, and I checked some other family members' names, and I see that they got unclaimed money. Some over 100, under 100. It's free money. It's your money that different companies owe you. I'm trying to tell people that thing is a scam. They think they don't believe it. But patreasury.gov, if y'all check,
not .com.
Yeah, not .com. patreasury.gov. Just put your first and last name in. It'll show if somebody owe you some money. Like, discover I overpaid this. This old mortgage company I had owed me. I'm like, oh, give me my money. But it's free money. Check, y'all. It's your bread. Actually, ain't even free. It's yours.
Yeah, I gotta go check. I think what people get nervous about is when you see it on the link being sent to you on Instagram. And people
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, they actually have the link.
On Instagram, I ain't doing it off Instagram. You go right to the government's website, and then it's unclaimed.
So
but
in New Jersey, it would be New Jersey what?
I don't know New Jersey's. I forgot.
Well, no. Say your PA.
It's patreasury.gov.
So it would be New Jersey.
Like / unclaimed or whatever.
New Jersey Treasury.com.
My niece just hit me back like, you sure?
.gov. Stop saying
.gov.
Some 14-year-old's basement. Yeah, you owe $1,000. Just send me $100. Just send me $100. I'll send you $1,000.
It's legit. Fearless. I put your name in. I start putting everybody. That's why
it's important. Yeah, .gov means it's official. .gov is government, and no, I've never seen a fake .gov site yet. Because that's the part easiest way to get on the CIA radar to try to fix
.gov.
And if you're gonna do it, get it now before Trump and the Republicans take that and shut that down.
Yeah, they'll change it. I'm sure they have the right to in emergencies.
I got my email back from the government saying, "Hey, I checked out legit, and my check is on the way."
Yeah, I look
but
like
no,
I'm a smart guy. I told my family that I don't trust what's going on. And a few months ago, I think I might say this on the air. I told them, I said, I'm grabbing that 401k. It's not that much anyway. They were like, yeah, but they're going to tax you. I said, yo, what's coming up down the pike? You're going to want to have your money. I don't want to wait 9 years. And now they see what I'm talking about. Because now everybody wants to control their own money. I hold it myself. I'm good.
Take it, and there are tons of
Adam
places,
Smith is a
and
walking website.
there are places that you can put it. There are places that you
that
can
part,
put
right? In 9 years, I might be able to double it.
There's places that you can put it, and even if you were to put it in something that has a low return on an interest rate, is better than taking a chance on what could happen with what's going to happen with the stock market.
Yeah, I wouldn't get mine for 9 years. 9 years? You tell me? Put this way: if I can't make, they said it'll be 30%. I'll pay 10% when I grab it, and then when I file tax, I got to pay another 20% on it. So I'll lose 30% of that money. Let's say it's 100 grand. I'll only end up with 70. Right? My point is, if I invest 70,000 and I can't make 5% per year, and end up getting the 30% back in 9 years, like Mike said, then I've done nothing right. Just S&P, blue chip, anything, Bitcoin. It's going to be up at least, 20%
Is Kamari
in
coming
9
on?
years.
I think we need a financial expert to talk about. I don't know about taking the 401k. I feel like there's so many penalties. I feel like I need a real.
Oh no, it's 30%. It's a big chunk. But
30%.
Bitcoin was 17,000 just last year, and now it's 108,000. That's a 5x.
It's going to be a penalty, but at least you know how much you're going to pay off of it. You don't know what's going to go on.
It might be 50% in 9 years.
Like you honestly
just to take
don't
it out.
know what's going to go on.
True.
They might say we're at war. You got to save the country, and the president has deemed it.
Yeah, because as soon as he said those tariffs, my 401k did drop. It did drop. I was like,
not even that part. But not that part. Jay, you got to say Medicaid and Medicare. If you're going to attack Social Security that people paid into for 30 years, trusting the government, then nobody should trust the government right now. Because the people who are right now who aren't working anymore, who went to war twice and went to work for 50 years, are now looking at the government like, bro, I thought we had a deal. Medicaid? I'm going to get kicked off? 11 million people who worked all their lives can get kicked off? All bets are off at this point for me. I'm not trusting nobody that does that. If you look at somebody else get done that way and you keep trusting your money with them, I'm looking at people weird. Like, you think they wouldn't do it to you? That's like Mike said yesterday with the deportations. You think you're not next?
I mean, listen, I'm no financial. We'll ask Kamari. I just sent him the link. I don't know if he's in town. If let's say I own my home and my 401k was enough to pay off my home, and I said, I need to keep this home. I'm just giving you, I'm not telling anybody advice. And every mortgage payment, but you got to be disciplined. I decided that every mortgage payment that I would normally have to pay, I put that to the side and started my own retirement plan. I mean, that's simple. I'm sure there's better ways to do it.
And it's access to home equity. Because if you paid your house off, now you can go get a loan for the damn near 80% of the house, right? Like, you can go, if you got a $300,000 house, you can go grab $200,000 and invest that. Like the rich do, flip the home equity.
I said sidebar, no segue. I saw A. Marie in concert last night. She sounded good. Good for her. I love A. Marie.
Mike Little Crush.
I love A. Marie. She's just been struggling. That's a hard. People have found out that there's a more difficult song to sing than people thought. Everybody just thought because it was a happy ass song. You know what I mean? So I guess it was more difficult. All right, we're gonna have a guest at 8:30. Diamond Bynum. Her husband has a foundation. He passed away. Her husband has a foundation. Change the Future. I'm gonna get the exact name. I got it in the clip. So we're gonna have her. Amani's supposed to make an appearance at 7:45. You know, she's a little under the weather and stuff like that.
Okay.
So 7:45, she's gonna come on. Kamari should be on here. I'm not sure. Trendsetter says new Medicare guidelines for 2025 include changes to Part B premiums, Part D out-of-pocket costs, and enhanced benefits for behavioral health and supplemental care.
Specifically, this the research department.
Those with higher incomes, a $2,000 out-of-pocket cap on prescription drugs will also take effect, which is it goes back to the pharmaceutical companies are the devil.
Yeah, that ain't a cap. 2,000 ain't no cap.
I'm not getting it.
Cap is like you stopping it at surplus. Like price is right.
Like Kamala was saying. Like Kamala, it goes back to Kamala was right, people.
She was right.
Kamala was right.
And I started off as a Kamala hater, but I voted for Kamala. I came around before it was too late. I saw the big picture.
You was on the fence at first.
I wasn't a big fan, but I saw the big picture. I did see the big picture.
I saw the big picture too, but once again, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, it was the Democrats who fucked it all up. They put their candidate in a no-win situation. They did something that had never been done before. And when Joe Biden had the chance
Mm-hmm.
before the primaries, when they had the chance to go like, you know what, we're going to pass it off so that we can get it ready and you can have the proper amount of time to run an election, run a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
Yes, Kamala was right.
I was on that side until I started researching that whole Elon Musk stuff with the computers. There's
Exactly, and you got that, to top off, and you
the
and you got
Vigilantes
that.
Inc. Once I saw that, I said, no, they cheated. They
So my thing is, if
they didn't stop the steal.
If you're the president in the White House, shouldn't that be okay? Even if
they didn't fight, they stood down. Yeah, we talked about that before. They did Al Gore.
That should have been the safety measures. This election. Where is my IT
investigation?
People? Where are my IT people at to protect this from that happening?
But not even that. If you're in the office, you call for the recount, the investigation, and everything else, and you don't, you make sure everything's followed up. But no, people should definitely watch that because my brother is in Georgia and he had never heard of it or saw it, and they focus on Georgia extensively as one of the major swing states where the corruption took place. Vigilantes Inc. is free to watch. Watch it on YouTube. Watch it on vigilantesinc.com. The dude's name is Greg Palast, Palast. But you can go just type in Vigilantes Inc. movie. You can watch it the whole movie for free on YouTube. And it talks about how back in the KKK days, they first started with the group called Vigilantes Inc. and was contesting black people's votes and all that stuff. But yeah, one person could contest up to 100,000 people's votes nowadays and get you knocked off the rolls without you even knowing it till it's too late. And they created a whole movement around that, and they got millions of people's votes thrown in the trash. And nobody's talking about it. So it's like it's pretty crazy.
Well, speaking of KKK, Mike, real quick, you think Coco should wear that shirt at work? He said he wanted to wear it at work at the police station. You think he should go in there wearing a Kamala was right t-shirt? Is that good for his
That's the only white shirt he gonna ever wear. He ain't getting promoted with that one.
You might as well wear it if that's what you can.
You can't protest like that at work.
Not these days. I'm not advising nobody to protest.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
If that's what it is, then just suffer the consequences and stay and shut up. That's at this point, that's where I'm at.
I say playing underground. Like I said yesterday, I'm saying do something. This is my thing too. Do something that's not reactionary to the party that's offending you. Because I learned even in the Asian community, I always tell my black friends, I say, did you see them marching? Did you see them singing? Did you see them with a bunch of signs? At some points in history, yes, I understand that. I'm not saying they never protested. I'm saying there came a point where they were like, you know what? You kicked us out the country last time after we did all that work. You're siloing us. You're lying on us. You're putting caricatures like you did for blackface with black people. We're just going to make this money and shut up. We're just going to buy this land and own business and leverage our. We're not going to run a bunch of political candidates. We're not going to try to get a bunch of actors and athletes. You know what? We're gonna amass true power in the country, and our homeland's going to get a nuclear weapon. And I saw that. I watched them do it, and I'm like, you know what? Even China recently, they lifted more people out of poverty. Xi Jinping right now has lifted more people out of poverty than any nation in history in the shortest amount of time. They just did the fundamental work. When I went to China, everywhere I went, Mike, highways, infrastructure, memorandums of understanding. They would show Trump tweeting, like clowning him. Then they would show China shaking hands with Kenya. Then they would show Trump doing something silly, doing his jerking people off dance. Then they would show the Asian leader shaking hands with Putin, talking about in the next 5 years, they're going to do a $13 billion memorandum of understanding. We went to a school. The third graders all had iPads, was functioning high level, doing reports, and all were doing 3D printing. I went home and I told my parents, I said, we're in trouble. They are focused on and somebody said that. You said that even online. The Chinese guy said that recently after all this stuff came up. He said, we were investing our money on us and y'all was spending your money with the billionaires and wasting it.
Absolutely, and I agree with what you're saying. I just would say with our Asian community, they've never been the top of the food chain when it comes to a systematic destruction.
Oh yes, I'm glad you said that. Thank you for saying that for me. I like that.
And it's just a 24-hour, 7 days a week assaults and between music, entertainment. I haven't even played the video of the meeting that took place with record labels and people who own prisons to discuss hip hop and the deals they made about the music that they were going to promote. I have that video.
Did you see the new one on Joe Rogan? Everybody's talking about that CIA guy. Did you see him? He's like, we use conscious rap all over the world to start revolutions. We use conscious rap for the Arab Spring. We use conscious rap to stir up the people, to get them against the government, because we know the power of conscious rap.
But we don't use conscious rap in this country. We don't promote it in this country because they don't want that. to
Yeah, he
happen
told
in
on
this
himself.
country. Yeah, he exactly told on
Once you
himself.
said you knew the power of it, I said, oh, so all this suspicion that it wasn't a coincidence, you confirmed it. And I said, I can't wait till 20 years from now when we get those COINTELPRO style documents. I can't wait to read about how they were at a Chuck D concert. I can't wait to read about how when they first heard "Oh Yeah" on the Panther soundtrack with KRS-One, which was a crazy soundtrack in general. That's one we didn't mention, the Panther movie soundtrack. Great songs, right? But I can't wait to. I think it was Jerry Heller. He called it the era of gold chains and big D's. Big whatever, like and the manager of NWA, he talked about Run DMC and all the conscious rappers that way, obsessed with their genitalia, like people during the lynching, and wanting to redirect their artistry the way they do now.
All right, Kamar's in the building. I'm gonna get the intro.
It's Thursday time to get your finances together with the Finance Rebel. Let's go.
Ain't no stopping us. Ain't no stopping us. Good morning.
What up, big homie? Got the bucket hat. Got the flavor going on. I see you, homie.
We need that 401k wisdom. We need that 401k in the Trump era wisdom. We don't know what to do.
When that Philly OG gets up in here and says, "Don't forget, don't forget me. Don't make me. Leave me alone." Financial Rebel. That's the leave me alone, little homie. Leave me
Should
alone.
we leave our money alone though? That's what I want to know. At 401k, talk to me, please.
I missed y'all last week.
So Kamar, we do have a question that we're gonna get to.
All right, let's go.
And I gotta go, but I have to keep everything tight. 7:45. I think mine is gonna be on here. I'm not sure. 8:30. We got to guess. But this is what we call the distraction show, and we're gonna talk about Diddy because that is the main distraction, and we want to make it clear that we understand it's a distraction because we know what's going on and what's being voted on. But we also know that you guys want a little escape and to deal with it. So let's get the distraction going. Let's get the propaganda and what they really want us to focus on right now going. This is the clip from TMZ right here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the distraction going.
Wow.
All right, so that's sex trafficking, no. Count 1, no. Count 3, yes. Mann Act, Cassie.
And count
Jane.
3 is Mann Act Cassie.
Correct. So now we just have Jane sex trafficking and sorry, I'm yelling. Jane sex trafficking and Jane Mann Act.
Sex trafficking, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution, Jane, guilty.
Wow, so 2 with the Mann Act. 2 Mann Acts and that's it.
Up to 20.
But you know what? But that may be concurrent, and the prosecution.
Well, it's 2 separate acts. It wouldn't be.
This is even though he's found guilty, huge. This is a loss for prosecutors. I mean, their whole point was Diddy was a racketeer who forced them into sex. The jury said no.
This is the entire case now is just a simple prostitution case.
It's a prostitution case.
Yeah, that's what it turned into, a prosecution case. And obviously on both counts, he could get up to 10 years. Nobody expects that. A lot of people expect maybe 1 to 3 years.
They expect him to get a bail too, but he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, well, now that you said that, we might as well. Hey, you brought up the bail, and you might as well we might as well get some more. I'm trying to be on point right now. Let's go. We're talking about denied the bail, and we'll
gotta switch on them clips today.
Got
Diddy Combs' trial has just rather shockingly denied him bail. This, of course, coming after the news that the jury convicted him of 2 of the lesser charges in the government's case against him, finding him not guilty of the 3 biggest and most consequential charges. Laura, this is a surprising development. What are we learning? What are the judges' reasons for not letting him out?
Well, we are still learning all the reasons why the judge has denied bail to Sean Diddy Combs pending his sentencing. That can be an indication of a number of things. Remember, the prosecution is intending to ask for jail time in this matter. Each of those charges could provide 10 years in prison. The sentencing guidelines will obviously dictate to what extent that will be followed. Those are the maximum. It is the ceiling, not the floor. But given the number of offenses he has failed to have in the past and the corresponding ways in which you judge someone's category that they're in for the ultimate decision of sentencing, it could be far less than that.
All right, so the bail was denied. That was all. I don't know when sentencing actually is. I don't know when the date for sentencing. It's in September, so he'll be in there at least till
did it
September.
for a year. Yeah, he went in September. Wow.
The judge didn't feel like he's not. Well, obviously, I mean, he blew up people's cars and then
Allegedly.
No. What? It's not alleged anymore.
He didn't get found guilty for that.
But it's not. It's not. But this is why. But he was charged with domestic violence. So when you're charged with domestic violence, usually they deny you the bail till sentencing.
No, he wasn't charged with domestic violence.
He wasn't charged with domestic violence.
Yeah, that was two of them.
The 2-man acts, the prostitution,
and the prostitute. He got denied bail. Now this is what I'm going to get into this.
October the 3rd.
The people who are acting like it was a victory for them. I don't understand you guys. I don't understand. I don't understand the caping.
Did you see the baby oil brigade?
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
I heard about it. Yeah, they said something
the
about
news clip lady. I saw the lady when she said, "You won't believe this." When people actually pour baby oil on
themselves.
You asked, and you asked, and you saw it.
Oh shoot! Mike ready.
Oh, she took the wig off. I wouldn't have wig. Oh, look back in. Baby, rub me down.
I don't know what she gonna do, y'all.
And hey, I'm gonna say it like this: the way we all put our heads down,
it's American.
When we saw this, it's the same way I put my head down when I see people celebrating as if this affected them in a positive way.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with that one.
I'm not on the fence of anything. Listen, if you're part of
it's a witch hunt, why can't Diddy say it's a witch hunt? But go ahead.
You can say it's a witch hunt all you want. Harvey Weinstein is saying it's a witch hunt too. And guess what? Harvey Weinstein is making some good, valid points.
Yeah, I heard that interview. He talking about
He's making better points than I heard from Diddy's people, and they won.
Yeah.
This all for Mike just don't want to say he was wrong. Mike's was you were so hard with it. They got him.
Hold on. Wrong.
No,
about
Mike
what?
just don't want to say he's wrong. He's trying to defend.
First of all,
wrong about what?
Mike said the feds don't come at you for racketeering unless they got some. Just wait, they getting them on racketeering. They wouldn't have charged them for that.
First of all, Jay, this is where you lie. This is where you turn into Trump.
But wait a minute, Mike. Wait a minute. They did get him.
They did get him.
They got
him.
No, not a racketeer.
Nobody said racketeering. We didn't even know there was a Rico racketeering when we first discussed this.
Let's not act like 20 years is not a lot to face.
This all started.
But you know, a first-time offender is not getting 20 years for low prostitution.
Okay. Wait. We're not gonna wait. No. Wait. We're not gonna let him get away with the bullshit today. This conversation started when they raided his home, and I said, Jay, they didn't raid his home. They have something on him. This is not going away. Jay's exact words is this is gonna blow over. So I don't know where you get that I was wrong.
They had prostitution on him. You really thought it was some Rico. You really thought he was the kingpin of this sex trafficking.
Jay Black, we didn't even know it was Rico when we were talking. We didn't even know it was Rico when we were talking.
TMZ said, yeah, they got him on simple prostitution.
No.
Transportation.
You are not going to pivot off this. You're not going to pivot off this shit.
He's a domestic violence abuser.
You're not going to spread a lie and try and trump the show. You're not going to do it because we didn't even know what he was being charged with when we had the discussion. And I said, if they did this, they are going to pursue this. This is not going anywhere. And this man, they got it. They got something on him. And they did. So Mike Sean wasn't wrong. Not only wasn't he wrong, there are 70 civil cases already ready to be filed that he is going to have to fight over the abuse that he got. So Michael Sean was right when I said they do have something.
Mike talking about it third person, you know he's serious.
Because I'm not. This is the caping nonsense that goes on.
No, I don't like the fact that they try to take a black man down and hyped it all up, and they
don't care about black people.
It has to be something. It has to be something to the government coming after someone and painting them a certain way, and it's not true. Like, can we acknowledge that
No,
what they
you
did
are
was wrong?
blinded. Why do you care of Diddy the monster? Why do you care if they
No,
did?
I'm not talking about Diddy the monster, the Cassie video. I'm talking about what they attempted to do, and that wasn't it. They overshot it. They overshot.
But let's go back to the point. I wasn't wrong. You said they don't have anything. He's not going to jail. He's in jail now. So who is wrong? Don't play with me with these lies. You want to put bold-faced lies, and you want to say it on text message.
No, you really thought that he was going down for life, and they got him now. They wouldn't have.
Well, I saw a lot of people say he's never coming home. I saw a lot of people say he's never coming home.
Nobody said life. Nobody said any of that. Me and Mo were on here saying he's going to go to jail.
That's still somebody's father. That's still somebody's son.
I don't give a fuck.
Somebody cue Jones Barbecue.
Me and Mo, Sexy Mo was on here. We said he's going to go to jail. They didn't raid his home off of this. Now, the prosecutors, after they got the phone call from Trump, allegedly, I'll leave that alone. They overshot trying to go for Rico. We did not even know about the Rico when we were having a conversation. You said, this is where, if anybody was absolutely wrong, it was Jay Black. He said, this will blow over. Those were his words. So guess who was wrong? You.
Let Kamari talk. Let Kamari talk.
You.
What do you want me to say? Listen, I think both of y'all can be right. Right, two things can be right.
No, we can't in this case. No, we can't.
Hold on, Mike. Listen, man, I got the third person energy. I got you. Right? Jay said it's somebody's father. Black men are being targeted. I'm cool. You're saying his monkey ass did something. He's right too. Maybe I shouldn't say monkey. That might not be politically correct. Dr. Aaron, am I wrong for that?
Well, no, I'm always big on the both can be true. Yeah, I always say that Dr. King changed the world and had a hell of a after party. Like they can both be true because neither one changes either one. Like I don't see the contradiction. But I do. One person said that they made a good analysis because they talked about the men in particular on the jury. And a lot of times when people fear all white juries, it's because they're not the person's peer and they look at the world through a specific lens. And people were saying, a lot of men on that jury probably done paid and flew somebody out and might even got a little rough with their girl. So when they watching it, they like, if this is going to end somebody's life, we should all be ending our lives because we done grabbed some chicks up and flew some chicks out. And the precedent it sets is why people feel so invested. If you are able to go back 20 years and say you flew me out, half of the rappers are going to jail. There's a lot riding on this. If this precedent was set where it's like, you know what? If she pops up and says he flew me out and he smashed, I didn't feel comfortable, or he paid and I was coerced by the money. It don't matter if you was with the person for 10 years. That's why he looked shocked visibly when they tried to charge him for that with Cassie. The other one, I don't think he was that surprised. When they said he was charged with a Mann Act transporting for prostitutes. So basically, Cassie's a prostitute. That's what that means. And he coerced or whatever. The second count was Cassie. And he was in the courtroom. They said he looked physically shocked. Like, wait a minute. If I got a girl and we do freaky stuff and she get mad, yeah. So there's still some dangerous precedents that was set. But most black men in particular was like, yo, if they're allowed to do this to him, we're done.
But this is why I don't do this with Diddy. Because Diddy offered to cut a smaller check before this all happened.
That was dumb.
So he knew. He knew. So stop playing this dude like a victim. And every time we get one of these monsters up here, we then go, oh, they're doing it because no, they're doing it because he was Clyde Davis's his little girlfriend. And he learned how to be the monster. And he continued the pattern amongst his community and his artists.
But I think the more constructive conversation here would be, had Diddy taken the first offer, this wouldn't even came up.
And somebody made a good point about what Mike just said about the money. Somebody was like, yo, if he knew he was going to go to trial, he should have thought it through and never paid Cassie the $20 million. He should have used that to fight.
No, I think he should have paid her first.
No, he did. He did. He paid her. Oh, you saying the first time she came to him?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, the first time. He played around.
I think the fix was in on the trial because I think there was higher powers involved in the whole
They were, of
process.
course, higher
That's
powers
why they got the tape got leaked right on time and all that. But yeah, there's no way for him to know.
And of course, there was going to be higher powers because if he got convicted, the entertainment business was going down and politicians were going down. Everybody was about to get popped because he was going to run his mouth crazy if you told him he got 30 years or 40 years in prison.
But I thought they had the tapes too. That was real shady to me. I thought they had the tapes, everybody. I thought Diddy had
They do have the tapes. Yes.
So why didn't we find out through the course of a 3-month trial who's on the tapes? Like,
why did we not find out about Epstein?
That's what I'm saying, though. What's going on, though? So Diddy be damned. Even when Epstein did go to jail, they just kept all the names from us. So it's like, do you see what DJ Vlad said? He said he made a lot of noise because he said, "I'm going to repeat what I've been saying since before the Diddy trial. This is a domestic abuse case, not a Rico or sex trafficking case, and domestic abuse isn't even a charge. I have yet to see a witness who was trafficked." It says the male prostitutes didn't seem like they were being forced when they got paid.
Wait. Let's stop right there. When it says, when you make a comment like didn't seem like they were being forced, it does not matter if it seemed like they were being forced. See, when we get into that, that's where everything goes out the window. It doesn't seem like they would be. It doesn't seem like she didn't.
Well, that's what the jury had to figure out, I guess.
That's what I'm talking about.
It seemed like it or not. Do you believe it? I don't know. He says, I'm pretty sure they would have done it for free. That's a little reckless when people say that. He didn't have to rape nobody. He looked good or he got girls. Okay. It says, I've yet to see a criminal enterprise on which the RICO charge is based on. This DJ Vlad from Vlad TV. Last I checked, Diddy's enterprises were legitimate businesses, not criminal fronts. The whole case seems to be a ploy by 5 female prosecutors to publicly humiliate Diddy because they are mad at how he treated a fellow woman. And if we want to be fair, Cassie should be getting the same prostitution and sex trafficking charges as Diddy, but instead she got immunity along with $20 million from Diddy and $10 million from Intercontinental Hotel. When the dust settles, she will be the real winner in this case.
But this is what I'm saying. Then when y'all bring this is why I hate going down this rabbit hole. When y'all bring up, Cassie shouldn't have got immunity, then why is Tory Lanez in jail? Because a bunch of people got immunity.
Yeah, Kelsey got immunity, and her DNA was on the gun, and the witness said that she did it, and she made a comment apparently before the bodyguard, and
they knew what charges he would have, just a waste of taxpayer dollars and time, and that could be a good point, Ash. Why were the names kept out the public? Because they're always going to get, because the Matrix is real.
Their names, the judges,
and their
heads of moguls and all them. They ain't putting their names in nothing.
Now you're asking the right questions. Where are all the tapes and computers that were confiscated from the house? We're never going to see them, just like we never see anything.
Yeah. We still waiting on the Kennedy files before they even had internet.
You never see anything. Okay.
They said Bush gave 9/11 stuff with 40 pages redacted. Just all black.
He blacked out the pages.
Y'all don't need this part. Y'all don't need this.
Y'all don't need to see this.
Y'all saw the buildings. Y'all know what happened.
You know what they said about how they got to the moon? They said all the files that they had on how the instructions, they lost it.
Oh, man, we misplaced. I don't know where they had.
They said they lost it.
Where they put that stuff?
Didn't have cell phones, but they was able to call back from the moon. Didn't have cell phones, but they was able to call from the moon.
They was able to talk to each other.
What happened to the tunnels, the child trafficking? That's what they said Diddy was doing. They said
they accused. He said he's connected to the Playboy Mansion, his property, underground tunnels.
But do you understand? There are hundreds of kids being found in cities today that they will not talk about. So the child do you understand the child trafficking? They can't ever let that leak, because when you start getting Pizzagate and you start getting the Clintons involved and you start getting all the connects, all the dots, they can't ever have you realize that child trafficking is huge business. So they're not gonna. There's certain people that get off because they're like, we can't open that can of worms.
Yeah, or somebody gotta die. That's what you said. It'd be the Epstein thing. Was like, he gotta go. He gotta go.
Scandal. They got Epstein out of here and custody.
Yeah, he gotta go.
All right. Let's see if there was more reaction. Let me see if I got any more reaction, because y'all were so on
you into the sun doing push-ups.
No, I can't.
Who Diddy's son was doing push-ups
Which
out
one?
there?
Yeah, son was out there doing
King
push-ups.
Combs was doing
King
push-ups.
Combs. It was King Combs.
I'm glad they got their dad back though. I can't front that part.
The
I was
12,
like,
they ain't getting back yet.
I'm just saying they got hope. Like,
know
we
him
see
doing
the
life.
Do you really want that dad back?
Yes.
Yes, you would want
He
your
was a
dad.
They were
dad
part
today.
of the freak-offs. They were
My
a
I'm
group
talking about the
chick.
girls, the twins and the girls. I'm
Your
about the girls. I
dad.
say that too.
Your
No.
dad is in the kinky sex stuff. He
It's
beat
not-
women, and
no,
he's
no.
still your dad. He still has the right to.
All right, Mike, I got a question.
Rehabilitate
I got a question,
him.
Mike. Do you believe in redemption?
Yes.
So then the dad should be given back, right? That's redemption for the babies.
I just don't see
I need that Mike Shaw energy now. Third person.
the dad that is bringing them into this life. That's why I fall back, because y'all ain't gonna like what I gotta say. The same upbringing that people can say that Diddy's mom put him through. He's got these young kids involved in shit that they should have never been involved in. Ever.
I see the possibility of that. I can't. I'm not arguing that one. Yeah,
ain't no possibility, though.
No, I'm saying. I ain't got no rebuttal on that. No. If y'all got something, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna keep listening. Go ahead, Mike.
And now.
I saw his mom. You saw how he interacted with his mom. Y'all might have seen that. It was some questionable interactions with his mom a couple of times. Where it was like,
what was his mom watching?
All of that, and even them two together.
What his mom watching?
The energy between them a couple of times was like, "That's your mom. That's not." Yeah. So yeah, you're right. It might not be perfect. They need therapy. So yeah.
Some daughters need their fathers, and I hope they love them. Yes, he got twin
Not
daughters.
every person needs that father, and I'm talking about in general. There are certain people. There are certain people you don't need in your life. Forget Diddy. There are certain parents that don't need to be in, and it's just going to go even worse.
Yeah, if you're not helping, if you're traumatizing, if you're not growing or changing, you're right. Yeah. But like Kamari said, let's give him a chance and see if he mess up, then they gonna lock him up. And he's gonna be a second time offender and get more time.
He would not still be my dad. Ain't no way. He abused everyone but his kids. Be for real. Listen, I'm gonna go to these women who are caping for Diddy. I'm just gonna tell you now. Don't you come to me when we try and get the full story after we see a man beat a woman. Don't you come to me. And I'm talking about a particular section, not all women. You women caping. Oh, free Diddy and free. Okay, you saw the video. So when we want to explain, when we try and explain the situation and be like, yeah, but you don't know the whole story. I don't want to get shitted on.
Yeah, but he wasn't on trial for that. That's my only.
But what I'm saying is, you're celebrating his victory of freedom, but you know what you saw. So now you want to decipher. So I want the same privilege to be able to say, I can support somebody, even if you saw him do this. I do not want to hear you bring up, didn't you see what he did? Wait a second. I learned this by watching you. We can break it up, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just want the same privilege. I want the same right. When I defend somebody and you say, yeah, but don't you see how he beat his kids? And, yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. I want to be able to do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, well, we'd have no heroes. There'd be no heroes because everybody had some stuff like.
Okay,
but shouldn't have any heroes anyway. Most of these
I'm saying like
worship things is crazy.
We all want second and third. We all need second and third chance. We all make mistakes. We all have regret. We all learn from our mistakes and we grow. I shouldn't be the end of my life because I'm like, I don't know.
If you took if you took my worst 3 minute moments of life, I shouldn't have no friends either. I should be in jail forever. I shouldn't have no friends. Nobody should support me. Nobody should cape for me because they're gonna keep replaying 30 seconds of my life when I'm wilding out and catching felonies. It's like, yo, that ain't even me, bro. Like I snapped that day. Like, come on, man. Like I was wilding during that period. Okay. Like I'm owning it. I'm not doing it anymore. Like I hate the fact that people be like, yo, he did that 5 years ago, so y'all should all stop supporting him forever.
What I want then you have to give the same grace.
Oh, yes, you're right about that.
When people say it about a pedophile, then when they bring it up and they say that person now can change.
They don't say they can change. Even everybody says they never gonna change.
When a man gets caught beating his wife and then still does whatever, I should be able to be like, yeah, well, come on, should his whole life be ended?
Yeah, you should. You're right with that. No, you got that part. I'm not.
I want this open mindedness on all the subjects.
It's levels to crime too, Mike. It's levels to it. You know that. Taking an innocent child and doing that's different than.
Yeah, to most
I don't.
people,
I don't look at that. Yeah, I don't know.
So what's the age? What's the age? Is it 14, 15?
No, most people say consenting adult.
Is it 17?
When you texting him saying, I can't wait till the next freak off, it changes things. You not like the guy outside the park.
Well, that's what happens when you grab him at 18 and you groom him and you bring him into a life.
I don't know. She left Ryan Leslie. She was on some demon time, bro. Like he trying to take his narrative like Cassie got scooped up and abducted. She was plotting and choosing like hell.
Okay, has
made it in the room with Ryan Leslie, looked across the table at Diddy, and 3 weeks later they was dating, and then did the same thing with Kid Cudi, and then did the same thing with the trainer while she was like, yo, man, like that's the part too. The same way you say to us, we gotta be careful who we caping for, because sometimes our stance could be right, but when it's OJ, when it's Diddy, it looks a little crazy. And I'm telling people just like DJ Vlad, when it's Cassie, it looks a little crazy. Like, y'all got a good point, too. The Cassie people got a good point. But y'all got Cassie as your spokesperson. She's not the best.
And
she's his right-hand man. She's his accomplice.
I would just say this. If a songwriter named Tamika took me into a studio and the studio had Beyonce and Tamika brought me in and we were in a serious relationship and Beyonce took interest in me, there's a good chance. There's a good chance.
It's a good chance.
There's a good chance.
There's gonna be another member of Destiny's
When you
Child.
went back into your Lexus and he took me to the and she took me to the private jet, there's a good chance.
See, y'all caping for Cassie. See, look at y'all.
No. I'm just giving you. I'm just giving you both sides.
Both sides. You're right though. You're right. And you gotta see both sides. No, that's what you said. The same way we saying it. Yes, people could say, "Hey, Ryan Leslie is no Diddy." No pun intended.
Keep both sides. That
19. She's a consulting adult.
But I did hear she's still going after him, and for that, I was a little frustrated. I don't know if y'all saw that, but she's making all these statements like she's trying to get a book deal going or whatever's going on now.
She wrote a letter to the judge.
Impact letter trying to get allegedly 20 years. I was like, yo,
letter to the judge.
Wait. You got a problem with that, but you ain't got a problem with Diddy milking the death of Biggie.
Oh no, both. Okay, that's why they were so good for each other. That's why they were made for each other. And usually, I'm about to tell them myself too, because people do this all the time. People will dog out their spouses or their girlfriend, their boyfriend, or their ex, and people be like, "Yo, you had more than one child with this person. You was with this person for years. Y'all more alike than you trying to say right now." So when it all falls apart, people try to be like, "Oh, I'm a helpless victim, Cassie. I don't know nothing." Then the text message comes out, it's like, "Yo, you a freak bull too, man. You a nut ass freak bull. You on that same type time as the bull. Like, you was ordering the bulls. Like, stop." People like to do that. When it's all over, I don't know what's wrong with Mike. You was Mike's main squeeze. Like, you rocked with Mike. You are like Mike. Y'all was together. Like, don't try to dog Mike now. So that whole, I'm gonna write an impact statement about Diddy. You was the reflection of Diddy. You was the female Diddy.
Did y'all hear Fearless's Philly slang come out?
Oh yeah,
that's freak ball. Perfect intonation.
And I'm not, and in no way am I saying you're wrong. But people will say, if you groom me into a lifestyle from the time I'm 18, I may not have wanted to be that. That may not be me. But when I've been groomed into it,
he was like 40.
The guy that you see me now, if the right dude I had hung out with, and at 18 had put me through some gangster shit, you might have seen me sending text messages saying, "Yo, you either do this,
OG Bobby Johnson,
or this is what's going to happen."
Raise up the young boy the wrong way. No, you right. But this is my problem too, Mike. I'm gonna tell you why. I know a lot, especially younger black guys. My dad used to watch TV, and he used to always be like, "If that was me," even when I was younger. So I knew early on when black people watch TV and watch white people get away with stuff, we'd always be like, they wouldn't do that for us. So while Trump got 35 felonies and becomes president, and Diddy gets caught for 30 seconds, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, when I was 13, they was calling me an adult. And the study showed that they look at black men as more criminal and older. That the whole Tamir Rice thing, getting shot within 2 seconds when he's 12. So I know for a fact that I'm not an adult when I first got puberty. I went from being cute to being dangerous. So I'll be damned if some 18-year-old woman starts talking about being groomed. You're grown. You're grown. I was grown when I was 13. You was 18. Do what you got to do. Handle your business. You was a grown-ass adult. Don't tell me you got groomed as an adult. I don't want to hear that.
I have to push back on you. Nobody in these squares was grown when they were 18, and we know this. So
I know technically, but I'm saying, but society.
No.
We can't play that card. We can't be like, I'm 18, but listen, officer, I can't go to that jail. We get sent to the maximum jail with the adults sometimes when we're 15 and 16.
Yes, and your societal, what you're saying in your societal view, you are right. That how it's looked upon. And in reality, we also know at 18 we're not grown.
Yes,
we
no
know
frontal
nothing.
lobe development, none of that. I'm with
We
you.
know
I'm just saying,
nothing.
there's so much bitterness in the black. What seems like caping.
Exactly,
It's
yes,
like, yo,
exactly.
nobody's going to give me them passes. When I'm 18, I'm going to the jail. I'm going to Rikers. I'm going with the men, with the killers, with the lifers. Nobody's gonna be like, well, I heard he was a suburban kid who never went. No, bro. You get what's that one with the dude had the backpack and ended up killing himself? Khalif Browder story where they thought he had the backpack was stolen. They put him on Rikers. He ended up getting beat up and violated. And Jay-Z and them made the documentary about it. And the kid ended up killing himself. Nobody cares about us. Michael Jackson vibes. So when I see other people getting taken care of, sometimes I inadvertently become a hater. I look like a caper, but I'm really just hating because I'm hurt. And I know nobody would do that for me.
And that's
so I'll be like, F Cassie.
So I want to get to this. If a parent had been part of these free calls, would they have lost custody of their kids? Just a parent, just been part of all
some parents. According to the names, they was floating around. Some of them was parents.
So when you tell me, they need his dad. His dad was having sex with his woman while other men were doing, and you want that dude back as the leader of the household? This whole thing that people downgrade this to, he just like kinky sex. No, you want to normalize it. You want to normalize what was going on.
It's not just that.
You want to, he was just freaky. You want to normalize this.
Fearless want to say they want to do that too.
No, I'm a Tupac fan, so I was saying that Diddy was destroying lives back then when people were saying the whole music thing. Remember, like the whole Bad Boy Curse. Like the Locks made it out. Look, and when G-Dep went to jail for murdering somebody, and Black Rob died, and bro, like I was back on that type conspiracy theory back in the day. Was like, yo, you rock with Diddy, it's gonna end poorly for everybody but Diddy. Biggie gonna die, G-Dep's going to jail, Black Rob gonna die. Mace was running as a pastor in Atlanta. There was a moment where everybody was like, yo, Little Kim was cutting her whole face up every week different. Nobody was settled and peaceful or financially secure who rocked with Bad Boy, but Diddy had almost $1 billion. So I think he is a monster in more than just a sexual regard, and he don't care about people. And his partner Wolf got killed with the whole Big Meech thing in the club. There's a lot going on,
Yeah, so and once again, y'all, I want to reiterate this. We know this is a distraction for what's going on in this country.
Yeah, Trump was mad when they came back with that verdict. All he needed was one more day to get his bill passed. I know Trump was like, no, keep deliberating.
So,
he wanted to sign it on the floor.
So even though we're passionate, because we get passionate, we can discuss how you like your eggs, and we can get this passionate.
Cold ketchup, like yesterday.
Cold ketchup,
or the cabinet. Yeah.
Or in the cabinet.
No, it ain't no cabinet. It's cabinet.
Fearless almost ended relationships over
almost
putting ketchup in there.
Don't put my ketchup in the fridge. Don't you do it. But the label said freeze refrigerator when open.
That's like raisins in a potato salad. Like if I saw a woman do that, I'm like, are we breaking up?
So understand, when y'all see us like this and y'all say, well, why y'all getting so emotional about it? We get emotional about everything, but we know this is a distraction. We get emotional about everything.
Yeah, Diddy everything in real life.
Anything.
Either way. But I do think, Mike, I think one thing, on a funny note though, I do think there was some energy about stopping the party. Because I used to throw a lot of parties in college, and the cops would like really get off on shutting down the party. It was really awesome. If we not gonna party tonight, y'all not gonna party tonight. And I really feel like that whole energy, that momentum that was building, like the Diddy's coming home, it was like they're not gonna do it at 1 o'clock, they might do it at 5 o'clock. It was building. It was about to be lit outside, and it was gonna be some baby oil bashes. And when he finally hit the streets, it was gonna look like the Hate Me Now video when him and Nas was on the roof and the whole neighborhood was out there. They knew what was about to happen, and it was like that Malcolm X. They do too much power for one man to have. They didn't want Diddy to come home to that hero's welcome after all things he did. And I think that's part of why they was like, no, sit down.
And I'll be real, the sickness is that we have a hero's welcome. But
we will. Outside. Come on, who throw a party like Diddy, Mike?
We will. Well, I wouldn't, but
I'm gonna buy that album.
But they will.
Got a story to tell.
They will. But I think people are gonna be. That's a whole another thing. The career and what goes on.
Can you imagine that story to tell part 2, Mike?
You gotta. Why you take it all out, Jay? What happened? Jay, why you?
No. She said, "What did that show say behind you?" I just did the solo so she could say it. Yeah, so she could see it. Yeah. So it's Make America Follow the U.S. Constitution again. Yeah,
Motherfucker. Is that how you say it? Motherfucker. Oh, my bad.
Lady Q be on her ish, and I just wear whatever she make. I'll be out in these streets. I'll be like, yo, Kamala was right. Yep, I'm wearing it all day today.
I like
I'm
that shit.
pissing everybody
So
off.
we'll be talking about the Diddy thing the entire show. We'll probably be talking about the Diddy thing. We have a guest that's gonna come on who's talking about a serious foundation that they're running at 8:30. Hopefully the link will work and they'll come on here and do that.
Okay, guess.
Let me Amani's here. I didn't even know Amani was here. Okay, all right, well,
let's do it.
And this one, I'm gonna let y'all know we might be answering some questions, y'all. So just be prepared to answer some questions. I don't know.
Amani always pissed somebody off. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
That's good.
I don't know where we're going with
this
this
segment. Passionate. That's what Mike said. We're gonna be passionate.
Everything. We argue about everything. That's so true.
Truth be told, I watched the clip. And I said, I don't know what we're about to talk about. And I'm like, hey, let me see.
Monty never disappoints.
You had them clips ready. I remember last night she was like, get the clip ready.
Her segment, you got her intro. Look.
That's the struggle, is to find this intro.
Let me see.
Oh, there it is. There, I got it. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the thing with Amani. Now, Amani, the floor is yours.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning. Before you start, I want to make sure I know exactly where your clip is. So once you say throw it to the clip, because I've been on fire with these clips. They was like pow, 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 pow. Then I said pow, pow, pow. All right. The floor, Amani, here's the thing. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. And here's the thing. Trump has did it again. All right. We're now deading the education system in 2025. And I have some facts and a little quiz at the end of this. So we're going to play the clip and we're going to get started.
Oh, we just gotta now take notes, y'all. And
I got anxiety.
Dr. Smith, you got an advantage because you know most of this stuff.
I heard quiz. I got anxiety for a minute. I ain't gonna lie.
All right,
I was like, we quiz.
Well, this morning, California won't receive some of its federal money for schools.
President Trump's administration is telling the state it is holding back $811 million. Today in the base, Chris Sanchez joins us from our newsroom with which students this will most likely impact the most. And Chris, the big question, does California have any way to get this funding back?
Well, good morning to you, Marcus and Laura. So there is a timeline for that money perhaps to come back to California. But for right now, the rug was really yanked out from under education leaders who were appropriated this money by the U.S. Congress for this fiscal year. And in some cases, they already started spending it on hiring and programming. The Trump administration sent notice of that freeze through an 84-word email from the Department of Education saying, quote, the department remains committed to ensuring taxpayer resources are spent in accordance with the president's priorities and the department's statutory responsibilities. The California state.
All right, there you go, girl.
All right. It's true. The Trump administration is officially taking government funding from schools around the country. Shout out to everybody who voted for this, because now your kids are not going to be able to be productive beings in society because of their lack of education, because of your lack of education and common sense. Now they will have to struggle from now on and into their future. The administration wants to cut various programs, including those that allow underprivileged children to have free school lunches, and they plan to withhold $6.8 to $6.9 billion in federal funding, including a 15% budget cut amongst the entire country of schools and states that are deciding to go against his wannabe dictatorship. They are also eliminating teacher training grant programs and reducing or consolidating student support and academic enrichment programs. All this for the states who will not conform. But today, we're going to spin this negative and try to make it into a positive. So, in mourning of the education system, we're going to play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Wait, we need music. Wait. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. I guess we just get some round of applause. All right. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Shit.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader? In mourning of the education system and for all those to come to us, let's see if the education system has actually helped any of us. Are we ready?
All right.
All right. Everybody's going to go one at a time. Okay?
Uh-oh.
What is the square root of 81?
9.
Good job.
Good job, guys. Good
That was
job.
Jay Black. I got it first, but go ahead.
All right, it's not a competition, Jay. We're just trying to work as a team.
All right. Because
We're just trying to work as a team.
All right.
Buzzer. We gotta get a buzzer.
I'm gonna give you some easy ones, and then we'll get into your real education.
Okay,
What
they
is
playing
the
along too.
main
Okay.
ingredient in guacamole?
Avocado.
Yeah, avocado. I got that.
Ain't
But
that
that's from being at the bar too much, so that's not good. That's from
All right.
that's not
What planet is closest to the sun?
Mercury.
Ooh, I don't think he should play. I don't think he should be allowed.
I got it. I got it. I got
kicked out the game like a casino. When he start winning, they be like, "You gotta go.
You gotta go."
You start winning the casino, they come tap you on the shoulder.
No, I just thought about this. Like he studied curriculum. Like that's what he did.
All right, I'm gonna fall back.
No, you can't. We're a team.
All right, how about what do we call and How to Be a Millionaire?
You can
phone a friend. We
Phone
need. Yeah, we'll phone a friend.
You can only
phone a professor.
You can only
phone a
phone
professor. Yeah.
one time for 10 questions.
I like that.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, and then there's gonna be 5 bonus questions. Let's go. What type of tree do acorns come from?
Oak.
Oak tree.
Per.
Damn.
How many Great Lakes are there?
4.
I'll go with my first answer, which is wrong. 7.
I thought 7 too.
No. There are 5 Great Lakes. What is the capital of Japan?
That's Seoul, Korea. That's not it. That is. It was the fight. The fight took place there. Tyson's fight took. Oh man. Hong Kong.
Tokyo.
No.
Tokyo.
Tokyo's not right.
Ding.
Parker knew it too.
Okay.
All right, Tokyo.
I'm going whatever.
What
Miss
does
Parker
the
said.
term IQ stand for?
IQ. The term IQ.
Are y'all gonna phone me ever?
Yeah, oh yeah, let's phone a friend. Let's phone the professor.
No, because
we got a doctor right here.
Doctor.
He got doctor's degrees.
All right, well, before we call
try it first. But I'm an
because
Asian
this is
studies major, and I was looking at y'all with the last one. I was like, I hope they get it right because they
wait,
could've
Lady
asked me
Q
with it.
popped in.
Oh, Lady Q popped up.
Right?
Oh,
Miss Parker got it too.
Yeah,
I'm
everybody's
going with what
saying
they say. I'm going with Miss
That's what
Clark
it
and
is.
them. Intelligence.
Not quota. Not quota.
No. Go back there. Equivalent.
Quotient.
Yeah, that one. That word.
Quotient.
Ding. All right.
There we go.
Oh, we got help.
What is the world's most spoken language by native speakers?
Mandarin Chinese.
Yeah, good job.
Kamari,
All right, Kamari. Let's go. Mandarin.
I was dog. I picked up my phone. I was about to call Fearless. I picked up my phone. Go ahead.
No, yeah, Asian studies. I would have got that one too. Yeah,
Go ahead, Mom.
Okay. What
Good answer, good
gas
answer.
do plants absorb from the atmosphere?
I know this.
Y'all
It's
know
time to
this.
phone it. It's
That's
time
with
to
an
phone
H,
it.
right?
Y'all know this one. Y'all know this one. This one y'all
With an
know.
H.
H2O? No. Dr. C.
No, we take
Let's phone
H2O,
the professor.
but they take in what we give out. They
Yeah, y'all can get this one though. I think y'all can get this one.
He just said H2O. I don't know.
CO2. I knew it had a 2 in
Carbon
it.
dioxide. Yeah.
Carbon
CO2.
dioxide.
Yeah.
Right, so they take that in. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Parker.
That was
Man, I'm
a myth.
sweating over here.
Miss
What
Parker got
is
it.
the
Lady Q got it.
capital of Italy?
The capital of Italy.
Wrong. Is it Rome or is it Milan?
I'll go with Milan. Final answer. I'll go with Milan.
No, I don't think it's either one. Actually.
But it's not. It's not.
Italy.
It was never said on The Sopranos. Damn it.
Final answer?
I was
Parker
I
said
said
Rome. I'm going Rome. I'm going Rome.
I said
Good job.
Rome.
Good
I
job.
did say
Good
Rome.
job.
Oh, Kamari said Rome. He's on fire.
Kamari did say
Listen.
Rome.
These are now the 5 hardest questions. I need the comments
Ooh.
to stop talking. Okay?
No, the
Ooh.
comments, we're a team.
No.
We're a
No,
community.
it's just us
Take
now.
over legend.
No. The
Don't look
questions
at him, Jay.
are
Don't look
you,
at him.
smart
Yeah, we can bring them up after.
administrator.
We can put.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, yeah, all
we need
right.
all that we can get.
Yeah.
Bring it up after.
I'll bring them up after.
Are you ready?
All right.
Yes.
Density describes the mass of an object divided by what?
Space or size.
No.
What's it divided by to get density?
I can say this one or no?
Yes, you can say
Yeah.
it.
You
You're
wanna take
All right, we're actually calling the doc. I was gonna say something like weight or something. I
Wait,
don't know.
that's what
But
I'm saying.
I said, I was gonna say weight.
If we're right, are we right?
Is that right?
Well, they're saying using the word volume.
So I guess that would be different. Volume would be different than
feel-
weight, right?
I do feel like volume is
Yeah,
different.
yeah, I think
Volume would be the actual.
If it's scientific, they want the technical answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So we were wrong. I was close.
They
But
want
we
the
were wrong.
exact
All right.
answer.
I was
So
almost smart.
only got
you
two
guys
right
used
out
your
of
phone a friend.
No, you get you get two though.
No, that's
No,
not
we
what
used
agreed
it.
to.
No, he didn't.
No,
Mike
no.
said the answer before the doctor said it.
Yeah, but you just used it just now. He
Yeah, we
just
did.
said.
No, but Mike,
wait.
you said wait.
Yeah,
Mike
but
said
then
wait.
we went to him and he said an answer. He
No,
agreed
he
with
jumped in before we tapped him in.
Let's go to the
Let's
next
go ahead,
question.
let's go
Jesus
ahead.
Christ, Jay Black.
Go ahead.
God, my God. I got a guest coming on.
Okay. True or false? Crawfish are fish. And
False.
if false, what type? What are they?
So it got to be false because she wouldn't have had the. If.
All right, but Jay,
So
stop
it's definitely
talking. Stop
false.
talking. You talk
You
so
gotta
much.
talk through.
But Kamari
You
just
gotta
said
talk
an
through.
answer. Kamari,
He
what's your
said
answer?
false.
Do we go with false? Are we gonna go with false?
Yes, I'm
All right.
guaranteeing it's false.
We're going with false. Now, the second
Good.
part of the question is
If false, what are they considered?
So I always say the word wrong. Crushins or cruchins.
Good job.
So why? Yeah, good job. Stop putting the comments up. Jay. Stop breaking the rules. Go ahead. What's the next one?
All right. The U.S. Naval Academy is located in what city?
Annapolis.
Naval Academy.
Yeah, good job.
Annapolis. Yeah, I know that because
Kamari. Go ahead, Kamari.
I worked on that movie. Tyrese was in that movie Annapolis about the.
All right.
All right.
Costa Rica borders two countries. Nicaragua and is one of the countries, and what is the other?
Belize.
No.
Ooh, let's. Huh? You
Nicaragua.
sounded believable. I was with you. You sounded. You had that passion.
Nicaragua.
Belize.
And which countries border it?
Yes. Which two countries?
Yeah, that's too hard. That's too hard. This
Is it Venezuela?
No.
Venezuela is something there.
Oh, South America. Yeah, sure is.
Wait, this is a fifth grade question? This is not no fifth grade question.
No, we should have known this. We knew this in fifth grade. We did.
I'm about to say, you probably didn't know it. That's all you were learning.
You said Belize is wrong.
Nicaragua.
I'm gonna just guess Ecuador. I'm gonna go with Ecuador for no reason. I'm just gonna go with Ecuador.
Panama.
No.
It ain't Ecuador or Panama?
Panama or Panama.
It is Panama. It is.
I knew Africa
right
Queen was
answer.
right. I know Africa. Wow, listen to Tawana.
We didn't get that one, but we got it. We got it on a rebound. We would have lost in the game show, but we got it on a rebound.
All right, and the last and final one is in slew of this whole political mess that's going on. According to the U.S. Constitution, the president is part of which of the three branches of government?
Executive.
Yeah, that's easy.
Not these days. It's confusing.
Y'all were carried. Y'all were.
We were. No, we were.
That's what a team does.
Yeah, we were.
You couldn't. Last time I checked, when I was in fifth grade, we had folder dividers, so we had to take our test by ourselves to ourselves.
I did. I cheated off Tawana's page and paper, and I got it wrong. That's crazy when you
folder
cheat.
divider.
Over there got the wrong. You say, is that B? Is that a B?
Jay Black cheated and got it wrong. You cheated off the wrong person.
I'm like Ecuador. I'm gonna go with Ecuador. I'm gonna
you know what, Marty? That was such a good segment. I think
we need to keep that going. That's good.
I think we need to keep that going. I think we need to do that every once in a while, and we need to take it from the TV show. Are you as smart as a fifth grader? Because
all right.
Mind you, I graduated in 1989, so a lot of that stuff I forgot. A lot of stuff.
It's okay. It's all right. Overall, though, this is the basic information that a lot of our children will lack, and the effect from this will be nothing more than another generation dumb enough to put themselves back in this political disaster. And that's the thing, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great segment.
And every week, she blesses us. And she didn't piss nobody off this week. Well, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
People got all the answers wrong is pissed off. I know somebody probably sitting on the computer like
Stacey mentioned.
Auntie outside said ask some first grader questions. Come on, stop, Auntie. Come on. We're supposed to be the leaders we're supposed to be setting an example, and you want first grade questions. We can't do that.
Yellow and blue makes what color? That's what she wants.
Yellow and blue
next
makes what
week
color?
will be a psychiatric evaluation.
Oh, we're doing a psychiatric evaluation. You're gonna eval us?
Or are you as crazy as a serial killer?
Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey,
She ate that up, not tore it up. Come on, Miss Parker. You gotta get with the youth.
Yeah, you gotta say to the young people, she ate. And you can't even say she ate that up. You just gotta say she ate. She ate. That's it. She ate.
Yeah, just leave it right there. That's it.
Yeah, just she ate. Thank you, Monty. Beautiful job. I'm looking forward to next week. That was a good tease. You should, if you can, you should start teasing next week. That's a good tease. That's a beautiful tease. All right, Mama. I love you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
I need Afro Queen on my team. I need Miss Parker, and I'm gonna still take Tawana. The next time we have, I know who my team is gonna be.
The go-to.
Yeah, I see. They was getting all Lady Q too. Lady Q came in. She woke up and said, "Oh, what's going on? We got a quiz."
No, you do realize.
But Jay, don't forget. She said I carried the team. Now we got to put it in.
No, you did.
He didn't mention me. He didn't mention me.
She stopped the doctor from even talking. She was so scared of him. She said, "Yo, you can't
be
in this."
Listen, I'm a close second, but I'm a temple guy too. So
but that's why when I talk to people, I told y'all before, you can't be talking all the professor stuff because at first they be impressed and then they be like, "How are we gonna get this thing out of here?" It's just quick. It's just quick from yo.
It's just like
you gotta go.
Certain things eliminate you from certain things. Like they will do that in certain contests. You cannot have any prior experience.
You was talking remember you talking about taboo yesterday?
Yeah.
Somebody tried to give my bio at a taboo game and everybody became my immediate enemy before the game started. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, why would you put a target on me and be like, he right here, he gonna be like, no, just let me play. Let me be a ringer. Let me act like I'm not that good. I'm gonna act like it's an accident. Like, I don't get these answers tonight. It must be the punch. I don't know. Like,
all right, hold on. I want to say something real quick. Piggybacking off Monty. Monty talked about the California cuts. We also just had a major overall nationwide tax cut, and the Republicans, I'm gonna say this, are shit. So they just cut Medicaid, SNAP, Medicare, $1.66 trillion from poor people, young people, old people. This ain't the America that everybody's talking about being great again, but that's what they want to do. They cut they cut $863 billion from Medicaid. That's state assistant Medicare.
You're not touching that.
They cut $295 billion from SNAP. If you don't know what SNAP is, that's welfare, EBT, food stamps. And Medicare is healthcare from the federal level, $500 billion.
Wait, you saying the bill passed? It's fine. It's final.
The president has to sign it, but
they got enough votes. I know last night they was waiting on enough votes.
He got them all in a room.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the headlines too. NPR says House Republicans expect to pass president's bill.
I knew they was gonna flip. I said
this is crazy. I'm glad you did say that. This is crazy. Especially, I talked about the FEMA thing yesterday. They're saying, yo, when your city starts burning and getting flooded, don't expect no cavalry. We have to really have each other's back.
Okay, does anybody know when is this going to affect?
Tomorrow. Well, as soon as he passes,
once he signs it, and he wants the July 4th independence. He wants the whole look. He needs that photo op.
That's what he wanted to do. Have a party.
Yep.
Well, and then that Cheesecake Factory menu thing that Jon Stewart talked about when he always had them folders and he signed his documents and other people describe what's in them because he don't read them. He's gonna do one of them press conferences.
So while they cut 1.6 trillion, they also increased defense spending.
Okay, so after all this is said and done, when do 20 million people go to the Capitol and say we will not leave until he's out? When does this turn into the country that we always pointed at? Because people, we're not gonna make it for the rest of his term.
Yeah, he got to go.
So get out your. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. Get out your comfort zone. Because no longer are you going to not be touched. In some form or fashion, this is going to touch you.
And you can't use the old tactics because the old tactics was like break stuff and burn stuff. That ain't going to work because he ain't coming to help or fix nothing. It's going to be like Newark and Philly where the riots in the 60s still had, buildings burnt out in the 90s. They're going to leave you right with your anger. So don't think that breaking nothing or burning nothing is the answer. It's not going to help right now.
So 20 million people need to go, we're not leaving. A whole city needs to be occupied.
Occupy the White House.
And you have to occupy. Yeah, I'm not saying burn nothing down. I'm not saying nobody's leaving. He has to go.
We won't. She said we won't, and it's so damn sad. People ain't getting together like Mike. I know Mike, you've been saying that for a while, but she said people are not going to do it. He's setting up for the.
Tell me when. Tell me when.
Telling people you're gonna need my money when it's midterms coming up. Hey, you're gonna need. I got 1.4 billion. You're gonna need my people. MAGA's gonna be mad. He said MAGA's gonna be mad at you with the votes. Like he was threatening in his little tweets. I was like, damn, he can do that out in the open.
Well,
so at the end of the day, elections do have consequences, folks. That's all I got.
Or the non-voters, for those who sat out that election.
Oh,
Kamala was
this
saying, I need
midterm
you.
is going to be this, but his whole plan was to get this bill passed before the midterm. So we can react. It is going to be a backlash and all that. We're gonna really decimate him in the midterms. But the goal was really to make sure this didn't happen. So the fact that this happened after the fact, we're going to do the little that we can. Yes, I do expect us to take control, but he's already put all these things in place. And it's going to have impacts for generations.
Was Stacey saying here that we won't be able to vote again? Wasn't that in it? He can have the power down to...
Well, no, that's the theory that he's going to be a dictator and extend his...
Is it a theory anymore? Is it a theory anymore?
Well, now when he's arresting judges and arresting mayors and threatening governors.
Where's the
bringing the
National
National
J
Guard,
Black's favorite thing? Everything's a conspiracy theory.
What's
Is it a theory anymore? This is where he's going.
And that's
You're
why
not.
you have to fight back.
Do you understand? You're not getting him out the White House unless there's authorities that physically get him out the White House.
Free Luigi Mangione.
He's not leaving.
Luigi, we need
free Luigi.
That's not.
He's not leaving because votes went against him. He's not leaving.
I'm gonna get a shirt that says "Free Luigi." Where's Mario? We need one more. We need one more. I'll leave it at that. We just need one more. All it takes is one. All it takes is one person to be like, "Oh, my snap is going." I was about to go spin the block, but I'll take Pusha somewhere. You know, that's all we need is one.
No, but the problem
I'm saying they've been shooting every day. People get killed every day, B.
But Doc, the problem is the media will join forces to make that as the lone wolf craziness. And until 20 million people decide life as we know it, life as we know it is no longer going to go on.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Until people make a decision, life as we know it is no longer going to go on.
Well, America, yeah.
I know everybody is going to be uncomfortable. Guess what, people? We can't survive him being in the office.
Yeah, not at all.
And if
plus, he's not leaving us alone to deal with the effects of his legislation. He's saying one thing we didn't mention yet was, in addition to the defense budget, he's ramping up the deportation and immigration budget. So he's going to replicate what's going on in LA in all these major cities, including Philadelphia. So now we're going to go to the corner store and see the National Guard and potentially even Marines and police force, hopefully not joining forces like they were in LA. So it's not even like you can go back to the old days of borrowing sugar, or you can, start growing food on your lawn. Like, they're going to be right there in your face to make sure you don't prosper and you can't handle what he did.
Did you see him when he talked about farm owners controlling the illegals and being responsible for them? Did you see that clip?
Well, yeah, now they got that Gaza model, with the USA aid. They know how to, they turn the spout off. You eat or you don't eat. Now it's a thing where, you could be a few yards away, right, from the aid station, and the kids are literally starving because they have a blockade blocking the aid from going right across the borders. So they're looking at this stuff. That's why they're doing those concentration camps with the alligators, and in Florida, talking about if you try to run, you're gonna have to be able to battle alligators. They're talking about people getting eaten by alligators from these concentration camps, but they're spending on that. They said tanning beds. The billionaire, it's like 82 billionaires. They're getting tax breaks. They're getting everybody's money. The other 90-something% of the people's money. They're going to make sure that every major city has the suppression going on, where you can't have any new Black Panther Party. You can't have any real uprising because they're going to be there with all the machine guns and the tanks. And I'm serious. I think that America, in its truest sense, which is revolution and rebellion, because there's a segment of America who's never experienced this. And it's those veterans, it's those white men who had the GI Bill, Social Security, and white privilege all their lives. One of them is going to say, nah. So when they find who the lone wolf is, I'm going to say military experience, white man, over 50, staunch Republican. He's going to be the one who's like, I voted for you to treat everybody else like this. When you said I'm your retribution, I said, get those trans people, get those Black people, get those brown people out of here. When it hits them, they're going to be locked and loaded. So I think we got, like I said, after he signs it, I give it 2 months.
Well, with all that being said, you know what? We gotta lighten the mood for a few minutes, because
before you lighten the mood, what's the motive? Like, for people that's just like sick of seeing like he's always winning, he's always getting what he wants. That could be really depressing for a lot of people. It's like, damn, again. Like, what message is that to those people? Like, realistically speaking, because people could be down and depressed. Like, when he won, it was depressing.
There's one thing: fight back.
Yeah, we do have to fight. We do.
That's it. And nobody likes that answer. Everybody wants to wait for
So you got to keep fighting.
Everybody wants to wait for a vote. He has to be removed. This is not America. This is the country that we used to point at, and they would have reporters live from there when the people were standing in their version of City Hall saying they must go, and they called it a coup or whatever they wanted to call it, and they said they have to go. That's the only way to get him out.
Like Saddam with the statue, even though it was mostly CIA agents out there, they still use it. You know, they're like, look at them, they all mad at Saddam. They happy we there. They greeting us as liberators. They smacking the statue with sandals. But that's how we started, right? Ask King George and them. We a couple people got their heads cut off in a couple of nations, right? They cut the king's head off, like they moved on, like the French Revolution,
Yep.
Yeah, people raised up, cut the king's head right off. It happens.
There's a book
It wouldn't be the first time, is what I'm saying.
There's a book I think everybody should read. It's called The Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Economic Hitman. I'm about to say, I need to go there. I said, that's the one. Confessions of Economic Hitman. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
We need to take notes.
In the chat.
So that was the clip I was talking about.
Smedley, right? That's his name, General Smedley.
I forget his name, but yeah. Now I know that clip is a little bit longer.
Smedley.
Yeah, it's too long. I just want to see what it was.
Yeah, but that's the gist of it, right? That frame you just showed us now. They want to give the migrant workers, the farmers, basically control of immigration. And see, that's going to be the pushback. They're going to make them change.
They can own the farmers.
This country cannot exist without illegals. American people don't want to work. That's just the reality of it. And so when we start seeing places like Nebraska and everywhere else that can't operate their farms and you can't get food out to the people and people are hungry, that's when you're going to start seeing some major pushback. Not only from the working class, regular people, but also from the business folks, because you're fucking with their money.
And Kamari, I am not disagreeing with you. The only thing I'm gonna say is everybody's last words are, that's when you're gonna get pushback. We've been saying this forever. That's when you're gonna get pushback. When you take everybody's health care and you take people's SNAP program and people start dying, that's when there's gonna be pushback.
Right, but here's the thing, Mike. Here's the thing. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. But has Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Everybody needs food. You can go with healthcare. Healthcare is a little delayed, right? It's on the end. But when people don't have food on the shelves, nobody farms, nobody fishes. What's going to happen then, Mike?
Come on, people aren't going to have medicine, are going to die.
No. But people won't die immediately. When you're hungry,
people ain't going to die.
It won't take too long.
Either.
No, it won't take too long.
It won't take long, but you got a little bit longer shelf life without medicine.
And we will have a bunch of senators saying we're fighting and make sure you vote them out. I'm not pushing back to be a smart ass.
No, you're right, though. People are apathetic. They're fucking lazy. I agree.
You are not going to convince these people in Mount Laurel, New Jersey that they're ever going to be hungry. You're not going to convince them.
We saw what happened during the pandemic, right? We saw what happened with toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
Crazy over toilet paper. Imagine what happens when you can't get chicken. Imagine what happens when you can't get chicken.
People get killed in the store. People will, the same way they had to stepping over for TVs at Black Friday, they're going to kill people in the store.
So are we going to wait till that occurs, or is somebody going to have the balls in a political position, or somebody with the influence to say, we have to go there now?
So
today, today somebody needs to be saying, somebody need to be talking like Mike's talking today. Somebody would
right now
today.
Right. But so listen, history has all the answers. Fearless just brought up, Dr. Aaron, just brought up the French Revolution. They waited. Everybody waits. That's just human history. That's just
they waited. They were going to kill that nigga.
Right.
They waited. They was like,
fed up, and they was like, we off with his head. Off with his head.
What you want to sign? We go off with his head.
Everything goes in cycles and everything goes in extremes. Either people are extremely docile, they won't do anything, and then a tipping point happens, and they say, all right, fuck him.
And hey, if there's nobody to work the farms, they'll put the prisoners out there.
Well, I don't think. But to Mike's point, Mike.
What did Kamar say? They want what? They what?
There's not enough prisoners to do that. But go ahead.
Well, not enough. Yeah, but they will be working. The ones that were, they'll be fighting wildfires.
They're working now. Yes.
Yeah, that's why they didn't want them leaving California. Remember that Kamala and it was like, "Yo, we got the prisoners. We don't want to let them free because they're doing so much good work with the fires." But listen, I'm just gonna give one more example of the magnitude, because there's no way to really quantify the magnitude of destruction this is gonna have on the country. Just in Indiana alone, there's an article that just came out. Fox actually put it out that says these 12 rural Indiana hospitals could be at risk under Trump's bill. So when we say people dying, like Michael saying about healthcare, it's not regular healthcare like your benefits change. It's not healthcare like, oh, your medicine costs more so people could die, like the insulin debate. This is like closer, like I said, that's why I was leaning toward what Mike was saying. This is a different level of immediacy when it comes to the impact of healthcare. It says, Healthcare Finance News says, additional 55 rural hospitals at risk of closure. If the hospital closes, people die.
And so to be clear, I'm not
different than the usual difference between, like I said, normally food is all the way over here. Healthcare is like more gradual,
Right.
but with Trump, it's like it's right behind it. It's right
and
there.
But to be clear, I'm not disagreeing with Mike. I'm just saying that food is going to be in your
It's definitely
face
more and more
immediately.
immediate. I'm saying, I just want people to know that the normal difference between the immediacy of healthcare versus food, Trump has changed that dramatically. Where it's like, no, I'm gonna close the whole hospital. And if you remember, like Katrina, people were dying in the hospital because they were leaving the people there. They couldn't move them. So some people literally, the water was coming and the people couldn't be airlifted. And yeah, if you get medicine, if you're hooked into a machine in a hospital and we can't transport you and the machine, you die.
Yep.
So if you're on oxygen, if you're on respirator, if you're in hospice, right? If you're on a machine and the hospital's closing, they're not bringing in 50 machines to reconnect you and transport you. It's fend for yourself. And people need to know that about their family members and all that. If you got a family member that you could bring back home who's in some kind of care, now might be the time to have a serious conversation with your family. Be like, yo, grandma don't need to be out there in these times.
And all right, you blame Katrina, right? Katrina is probably one of the most recent examples of how human beings act when everything hits the fan.
And how many people took guns on the bridge, started shooting?
Yep. How many people got raped in the dome? How many people was on top of their roofs? Like, it was crazy.
All right, so let me get no problem. Let me get to the our guest. We have a very special guest. Number one, we've been very mature, y'all. This has been a mature show today. It's been mature. This is not something that normally goes on here. So I'm going to be the teacher in the classroom. We're going to continue that maturity for our guests. We're going to continue the maturity.
Oh, yeah. We avoided the distraction. We made progress talking about real topics.
Yes.
We didn't fall for
So we could be real and ask real questions if something popped up. Like
this. Okay. Easy killer. Stop with the.
We got company, as they say, right?
Well, I don't know. Because sometimes I like to speak my mind.
This is a guest doing something. This is a guest creating a foundation that's positive. There's no need for any deep questions.
Okay. I got you.
Diddy supporter. There's no need. There's no need. There's no need, baby. There's no need, baby oil. There's no need.
Hey, come on, not have a guest. We got company.
We're trying. The show was called we titled the show The Distraction Show. And I titled it Diddy Beat People and the Rico. But then we moved on to something. Then we moved on to something more vital to our livelihood. And now we
thought this was water? This ain't water. This is celebration of Diddy.
Shut your ass up. Now we have a woman who's doing something productive and trying to change people's future, and it all based on a loss that she suffered. So I want us to be respectful and understand. For those who don't know, listen, I do this show for free, and that's why we do the tithing, which is tomorrow. So I keep it 100 with you, and that goes to paying the stream, and the rest goes in my pocket. I tell y'all that up door. I tell y'all that from a front door up front. This woman is doing something bigger than that, and is doing something more influential than that. And I want to introduce her, Miss Diamond Bynum. I hope I got that right. Let me see if I get her in here. Can we get another square? We got it right, Miss Diamond Bynum. Diamond, what's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's give her a round of. Hold on, you're breaking up a little bit. Say it again.
I said you can ask the tough questions though. I'm not scared of the tough questions.
Okay. Please, Diamond, don't get them started. I just got them under control. Diamond, I know you had a hard time. You had to get the link. They had to get the Chrome. You had to do all that. But we thank you for us stopping through here. Mo, a good friend, a long life friend, Nikki, and the whole Jenkins family. I've been family members since I was a kid with them. I got introduced to you just going to a basketball game.
Right.
And I saw the moms at the basketball game, and y'all were funny as hell. And it was just, there's a whole culture that goes on with just the parents of the kids, and it should be a reality show. It actually should be a reality show.
We're never playing about the kids. We're never playing about the kids.
So I want you, because through that, I realized that you had suffered the loss of your husband. And I want you just to tell us about the foundation, about where you're going with it. Give us the information. I will put the clip up. I will put the actual thing for the information. Let us know what it is that you're striving for and what you're working towards.
Absolutely. So I lost my husband last July 15th. So we're coming up on his 1-year heavenly anniversary. And he was a videographer and photographer. We're both from Willingboro, New Jersey. And he was very influential and inspirational in the neighborhood. So I decided to start a foundation. We called it the John Bynum Frame the Future Foundation in his honor. And what we're going to be doing is raising money, doing different fundraisers so that we can send other people from different communities, much like ours, to be able to go to school for videography and photography. What I noticed in this space, and just being his wife, is that it's a little bit difficult to break into that media community. So with having different financial help, our goal is to be able to raise money for other students who need different books, money to go to school, and that video equipment is very expensive.
Right.
And I know firsthand because we also own a wedding videography company, so we're going to be also helping other students to be able to become entrepreneurs as well, because sometimes in the space you won't find other opportunities, so you might have to create them your own. And if you do find yourself having to create your own opportunity, we want to provide the funding for that as well.
It's amazing that you're doing this just on the basis of what you're doing and your mindset to help other people. But these young people are amazing just based on what they're doing with these TikToks and what they are able to do with their phones and what they're able to create. Like I'm astonished when I see some of these videos going like, where did you learn? And I know there are apps that do it, but there are other things. So in order to, if you wanted to donate money, if anybody has a question, just give me a little fingers up and I'll bring you right in. If they want to donate, where do they go? That's the main thing. You got to go direct to the point with my people. You got to tell them where you need the money. Where you need the money
So
to go.
we accept all the forms of payment. That's what young people do, right? The young people.
Okay.
PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. So I can provide those for you, and you can go right there with the links and just donate right there. Zephy is our #1 payment portal that we typically use because it doesn't allow us to have a fee or a portion. That's our PayPal right there. We don't have a processing fee when we use those because we're a nonprofit. So definitely contribute and donate so that we can raise some money for the kids so they can go to school and have this video equipment and have these different opportunities. But like you were saying, TikTok, the different apps and avenues, that's been our whole world is kind of going digital. And since we're going to be in that space, we want to be able to make sure that all children and all students and people who are not even going to school have those different opportunities and capabilities to be able to tap into the creative arts opportunities for that.
So for somebody like me who's super basic skills, I'm super 1 + 1 = 2 when it comes to PayPal. I just got a Venmo. I had Cash App, I had Zelle, and I had to go. There was a certain situation they needed a Venmo, and I had to go to my IT department, which is my daughter's, and they helped me get the Venmo up and popping. I got a Venmo card, y'all. I just want to let you know I got a Cash App card and a Venmo card. Okay, all right, y'all ain't impressed. All right. If you go to PayPal, you just put in the John Bynum Frame the Future Foundation. Do you just put that in and that's how you can send your money?
You should be able to look it up right there by the email address.
And
then you should be able to find it. So
all right, so because I want to make it very easy for everybody because we do have some charitable people here. So with the foundation, you're trying to send people to school. Are they events that you're doing to actually help with getting more contributors?
Yes. So our first inaugural fundraiser is next Friday, the 11th, and it's like a casino-style gala fundraiser. We're going to be doing that in Madison, at the Madison in Riverside, New Jersey. So that information and the tickets for that is on Eventbrite, and that's where we're going to be hosting our first event. After that, we're going to be doing a series of workshops, free workshops, to teach how to do different editing and video styles that are very popular that you'll see much like on TikTok, but on some of the broader, I want to say, news outlets. We have somebody from Bleacher Report that actually sits on the board for the foundation.
Oh, wow.
Actually gave my husband a lot of different opportunities to be able to produce his videos on Bleacher Report. So it's just placing a lot of the people who receive the scholarships, giving them these different opportunities and networking with the people that are on the board as well.
So, and you just said you lost your husband last July? Was it last July?
It was last July, July 15th.
Wow, our prayers and our heart goes out to you. There's so many people losing people, and the strength that you're showing just to do this, to continue on his legacy. Like I truly, with all my heart applaud you for that. And it's only been, how is this a form for you, like, of therapy to be able to deal with this? If you don't mind me intruding and asking that question.
No, ask the questions. A little bit of both. It's a little bit difficult sometimes because it reminds me of him all the time. Just being transparent, like it does remind me of him all the time, and that's a little bit of a struggle while you're grieving. But at the same time, I feel like it's been able to help me a lot, just giving back to the community, because that's who he was as a person. He was always down for giving free game. He wanted to help people out whenever he could, and the greatest thing about him, I think, as a person, was he just wanted other people that looked like him to be successful. So whatever your passion was, he was going to figure out how he can contribute to navigate that with you and figure out how you can be successful, even if it was polar opposites of what he did. Right. So for me, he kind of poured that into me as a person while we were together, because we're two different career paths. He's media, I'm STEM. So, but we were able to... Okay. Yeah, so there's two polar opposites, but we were able to collaborate with each other, and he was able to kind of pour that into me. So it is therapeutic for me to be able to give back to the community and to be able to show that there are different opportunities. I know sometimes it can be a struggle when you're in film and media, because you have all this talent and you're like, where do I go? What do I do? How do I connect with these different people? I don't have the money for this scholarship. I don't have the money for this video equipment. How do I do this on my phone? So we want to just provide people with as many opportunities as we can, because I watched him do it firsthand. And he accomplished so much in the 34 years of life that he had. So to be able to give people that opportunity to be on different media outlets and to put their work out there, to, if you don't have the funds to maybe go to school, this is what he did in the meantime, because he learned a lot of things just outside of college in general. So we want to be able to just give you as many opportunities as you can to be successful, whether that's school or workshops or teaching you how to build your own business related to photography and videography. Whatever we can do to help you in that avenue, I feel like is very much therapeutic for me as well.
All right, guys, I need y'all to support whatever you can. You already know, y'all. You already know, if it's the coffee money, if it's what you normally spend on lunch, if it's whatever y'all can make happen. It's the John Bynum Frame the Future Foundation. Once again, you have the event, the casino style, that's going to go on. What's the date again?
Next week, July 11th.
Let me see, because I'm single. I got to meet some people.
He's single.
Yeah, I got to get out to these.
She didn't say it was a dating.
Yeah, but it's gonna be other.
Whatever it takes to get people out and giving and all that. Everybody got different motivations. I
want to also give the website to you. You can also donate directly on there, and that's framethefuturefoundation.com.
Perfect. We got it up there. Framethefuture.com.
Framethefuturefoundation.com. Sorry.
Foundation. Frame the future. Foundation.com.
Mike trying to frame his future. Ain't nothing wrong with that,
Mike. Now I'm trying to go to the casino thing and see if I, you know what I'm saying?
Frame your future.
I'm framing my future. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really trying to do that. Real quick, when you are dating somebody who's part of the arts, right? Like, being a comedian for as long as I've been a comedian, whenever I was with my exes, they almost became
exes.
Yeah, my exes. My two wives. I was married twice. What do you want me to do? Y'all want me to word it? I'm trying to frame this correctly. So I was married twice. It always seemed like the person I was with, especially because I was with them for a long time, the second person I was with for like 20 years, that y'all become like so-called experts at what I do. Like, where did you become a critiquer of videos and stuff like that? And did you have an opinion on? See.
Oh yeah. Yeah, eventually, I started dating him right when he started his videography company. So Exclusive Productions is actually our wedding videography and photography company that we own. So in his passing, because I was kind of like his co-pilot, I gave myself that job. I was able to carry on the business for another year. So because I was so much involved with the editing and the photography, I would just, be in his business. Oh, I don't really like that clip. I think you should change it with this one. You should probably slow-mo it right here.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Look at that.
Not 4K. I don't like it.
It's not 4K. Anybody? Are y'all good, fellas? Y'all got a question?
Yeah, I got a question, Diamond.
Go ahead.
One, condolences to you and congratulations on the work. But help for the people, right? What's some of the work that you've highlighted or some of your students have highlighted? And what exactly are you trying to do when you say frame the future?
For us, what we're trying to do is when we say frame the future, we want to kind of make sure that whatever your future is, we put it into a picture frame for you. So whatever it looks like for you, whatever you want to do in the future, whatever you aspire to do, we want to make sure that you're setting forward and striving for that goal and kind of just navigating you to success. So it's your personal development. We're helping you to frame your future, not, what society wants you to be or what you think other creatives are supposed to be, but bringing your creative aspirations to light. So it's pretty much for us individual, for every person that we want to touch in this with this foundation, we're framing your future personally.
Okay, awesome.
I want y'all to go out support. I'm gonna try and make it out there. I'm gonna try. I might dye my beard. I think I'm gonna dye my beard.
What color, Mike? What color?
I think I'm gonna dye black.
The salt and pepper is in though.
I know. Sometimes I be feeling the salt and pepper, and then when I first started putting the dye in, like it starts slow. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep the salt and pepper. And then as it gets darker, as it gets blacker, I start feeling younger. And I start being like, yeah. And I start feeling like, maybe I can holler at a 37-year-old. That's my limit, by the way.
No, you still can. Salt and pepper. Yeah. Salt and pepper's here. The sugar babies choosing, Mike. The sugar babies choosing.
I gotta agree. The sugar babies might like the salt and pepper. I don't know if you should.
They don't want you gotta have sugar to feed the sugar babies, though, Mike.
Yeah, slow down.
Hold on.
You need some sugar. You need some sugar. You do need some sugar for the baby. You
gotta have the sugar for the baby. I think it's this one.
Sugar for the baby.
I can't let you get out of here but without asking you this. You gotta join in some of the fun, and then we can let you go and go on with your day because you're productive, unlike some people in this show. When you heard about Diddy getting off on 2 counts of the Rico, but getting charged with 2 counts, as a woman, after seeing the Cassie video and after seeing and hearing, I'm sure you heard about all the exploits and all the craziness. What were your thoughts? Fair, not fair? Were you a Diddy fan, or you like, nah, he should have got more? What are your thoughts, Diamond? You don't have to answer it. You can. Yeah, you don't have to answer it.
Say pass. Say pass.
Yeah, can we
They call it plead to Diddy. They changed it because Diddy ain't justified. So they not plead the fifth. Just plead to Diddy.
Just plead to Diddy. You pleaded to Diddy. You pleaded to Diddy. And because we know I said we were going to be responsible, we will support and make sure you go to put the website on one more time so they could put the money up. Run them pockets. Run them pockets. FrameTheFutureFoundation.com. That's where you go to directly support this foundation. Also, the event is going to go down the casino game situation where Mike Sean's going to pop up with a dyed beard. The Madison, 33 Lafayette Street, Riverside, New Jersey. That starts Friday, 8 o'clock. I guess, is there a dress code, or can you come casual, or do you want people
you gotta come Ocean 13, Mike. You a casino.
We had this debate on the board. So let me know what you guys think about this.
Okay.
The community feels, what's the difference between black tie and formal?
One's a tux.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta put a tux or something on.
Is there like an age group that knows that and some other people don't know that?
Yes.
Like, what is the demographic?
Salt and pepper.
Gen X.
Gen X, salt and pepper.
Gen Xers know that.
See, we had a debate on that. So the dress code is formal, but the board we really debated between black tie, formal, and cocktail for a very long time because we figured like if we said cocktail, then people were going to come in Timbs. But if we said black tie, then only 40 plus was going to come in tuxes.
People do disrespect cocktail.
Yeah, they do. I've been one of them. I've been one of them people. When I was drinking, I was one of them people. Like, so yeah, I would keep it formal because the formal The cocktail,
Everybody knows
there's a blurred line with the cocktail. There's a blurred line because some people just come to
Sweatpants
get their
pop
drink
out,
on.
all that.
Yeah, next thing you know.
That's not cocktail.
It's not supposed to
not.
be, but
No,
yeah,
it's not.
Some
You're
people just
right.
hear drinks. They like, oh, open bar, I'm there.
Yeah,
It is open bar though.
But that's not what cocktail means. Cocktail means,
Damn,
later and
if
all that.
only I would have had this a year ago. There's an open bar. I'd have definitely been.
Y'all doing formal
for the first
Formal?
hour. So it's a formal event, open bar for the first hour. So if you come late, that's not Diamond's problem. But
Okay.
The first hour is an open bar.
So with the formal, jackets are required. I'm like
Sneakers and tux.
Oh, no, please.
Yeah, we
I don't
formal,
wanna
like traditionally formal.
Yeah,
Like,
You might try to break the dress code already. See?
No sneakers and tux.
No sneakers, she said, Jeanette. No
no
sneakers.
sneakers.
No, we might talk. We're gonna put you in a group chat. Don't do that.
Okay.
It's formal.
All right. We'll keep it formal. Well, see, you don't want us on your board. That's why they don't put me on boards. I'm never on board because I'm
You
never
gotta
on
meet people
board.
where they are, though. You gotta meet people where they're comfortable. I guess it's your event. You
This
can
is
say,
why
hey,
Jay Black don't be on no boards either.
Yeah.
Plus,
is
we
why
don't
we're
usually
bored.
dress like that. So once in a while, if we're gonna do something special, let's all get formal and done up and do it
We
right.
want shoes, Cypher,
We
shoes.
wear sneakers tomorrow.
You can wear sneakers tomorrow.
No
It
sneakers.
goes down July 11th, Riverside. Put that flyer one more time. Put that so I can get that.
Where I got to that.
And all these house music fans, y'all be out. Y'all be running the streets up here in the Takeover Legend community. 33 Lafayette Street, Riverside, New Jersey. It starts at 8 o'clock. There's a 1 hour open bar. If you get there late, there will not be any open bar after that. 1 minute late. Don't say I'm only 5 minutes late. I can't get a Henny real quick. No, you can't get a Henny real quick.
You put the
It's
link for the
over.
tickets too, Mike? You put how
I
to
don't
get
have the link, but we can throw the link on.
Just go to
Yeah,
the
let's do
website.
that.
Just go to
Go
the
to the
frame,
website.
frame the future
Foundation to get tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, and the tickets is up there, and then also the link to donate is also right there on the website. So if you go to framethefuturefoundation.com, the tickets come up. I think the flyer comes up. You can just scan the QR code, and then the PayPal is up there as well.
We should go as a show, Mike. That'd be some great content. You can get a lot of good attention to the good cause.
Come.
Jay not going.
Film a
Jay
little
not gonna
episode
go.
out there.
No,
All dressed up.
Let me look at the date again.
Mike, if we was all dressed up doing the show, interviewing people,
Friday,
hey,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I am. If y'all, he's saying something.
I like
Well,
that.
wait, but
Live
the shoes,
podcast
I don't
going
like
on,
wearing
bringing
shoes, but I
attention.
definitely-
Big up your business and how much you gave tonight and all that, man. Yeah, let's do the Takeover Legend thing, Mike. We
Open
outside.
bar. Wait. Would you extend the open bar for us a little bit? Or
What the hell? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Foundation.
I just be
Get the
thinking
free
stuff.
drink. Just bring
I
a
wanted
bottle.
to ask you
We
a question, but I didn't want to
we
do.
got to extend the open bar for everybody, and that might get a little messy.
When,
So
go ahead,
you
say what
extend
you want to
open bar
say.
if
I
you
don't want to.
sponsor.
I don't want to be
Tell Jay to
disrespectful.
sponsor another hour.
Thought I
That's how
had
we
to
get
do
to extend the open bar.
Jay Black. What are we doing?
Oh, that'd be
What we doing? Like, and Jay, you know what Jay wanted to say? You when you said you'd have to open the bar for everybody, Jay wanted to say, but we're not everybody. I know that's what he wanted to say. That's what he wanted to
Okay,
say.
and I'm with that because I feel like that when I go places too. I'll be like, y'all not gonna go.
I'm not everybody.
All right, I'm not gonna ask you.
Exactly 8. So open bar is from 8:30 to 9:30. So we give you a
All right. And Jay, there's a price for the tickets too. You know that there's a price for the tickets. You do know there's a price for the tickets.
Well, I do like to support different causes, so.
We need to go out there,
especially
man.
Black-owned business. I love supporting my people. I'm always rooting for my people.
Owned. It's gonna be
Everybody gonna be dressed up.
Yes, we're gonna
Beautiful,
take
yeah.
pictures.
Beautiful.
Come on, Lady Q, let's get dressed up. If Mike Fearless, come on, if y'all
I'm
all
down.
go,
Let's do it.
Kamari ain't said a word. Kamari ain't said a word. Kamari ain't said a word.
He said he got plans for Friday. He already
That
said
bucket hat
he
got down a little lower. He pulled the bucket hat a little lower. He was like, "Yeah, I got."
Like when you don't want a teacher to call on you, when you ain't read the book.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Don't look at me.
They don't see me. They don't take my
Yeah,
square
let's do it.
off. Take my square off. Take my square off. But that is because women are going to be in there, Jay. That'll be my opportunity to unsingle this single.
Potential clients. Kamari is a financial expert. People might need help with their taxes.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Yes,
See,
yes.
alley-oop, boom,
We might
alley-oop.
need help with our taxes.
Scottie Pippen out here, brother.
I work with a lot of nonprofits, but I will help. Yes.
We got a financial expert. We got the professor. We need to be on the guest list. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
we got.
Look at Jay. Look at Jay.
No, Jay, you gotta put up.
Oh, no,
You gotta
support.
put up for
Okay,
the
no,
open bar, brother. Come on
We
now.
gonna buy tickets. We gonna buy tickets.
Yes,
Freeloading podcast. We can't be that.
Freeloading.
We can't be.
Reload podcast in the building. What you know about it? Open bar for us till 8:30. 8:30.
Mike talking about should I go black or salt and pepper? But I don't want to pay.
Yeah.
You got that sugar for the baby. Sugar for the baby.
No, we're gonna get treated special. Listen, we get treated special. I don't care what y'all say. I'm dying the beard. I'm coming in black. If we go, listen.
So no salt and pepper, all black.
All
black, Mike black.
Yeah. I'm coming in there. I'm trying, man. I might start a new family. I don't know. All right, y'all.
Mike, you gotta follow your own rules. You gotta get that vasectomy.
No. I might. Listen, every once in a while.
That's Mike's rule. That's Mike's rule, not mine.
That's only an
NBA.
NBA.
In the mix now.
That's only if you get drafted by the NFL or the NBA. I feel that day when you get drafted that you have to get a vasectomy because there's a lot of stuff that's going to go on. You're an 18, 19-year-old that just became a millionaire.
With the diamond face.
Took a quick left turn, right?
I have so many questions.
He just took a quick left turn on the whole.
I'm trying to protect these young men. I'm trying to protect them for themselves. I'm trying to protect them
from a formal fundraiser event. You know,
you should have got out here when you can. You should have left when you could.
We ended on the fly. Should have ended.
Oh God!
From tuxedos to vasectomy. There you go. Foundation Casino night. I'm gonna
let you know right now. I'm gonna let you know right now. If my son
going down,
if my son got drafted by the NBA or the Major League Baseball or the NFL, we would go directly from the ceremony of him getting drafted directly to the doctor's office, directly to that vasectomy. Directly.
We can't have no kids,
man. Right. What about his family?
No, he not having no kids until when he find the one, he can reverse it.
He can reverse.
Then he can reverse it.
But in the meantime, we ain't making no mistakes.
Oh yeah.
No, what's traumatic is signing a $70 million contract and you lose 30 of it because the relationship don't work out of the baby mom, and now you in child support court and she going for your pension. That's traumatic.
That happens.
You were scrolling at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, of all the athletes that play professionally,
a lot of IG.
She froze. I wanted to hear what she was gonna say too. She froze. Damn, she was about to join in the fun. She was about to.
Dog, you know what I wanted to ask her?
Don't say that stupid.
She's still listening.
No, is she single? Because we look at Vanessa Bryant and like she can't never date again. Like, how do you? I wanted to go deep in my mind.
Real question.
You wasn't wondering that? I was wondering.
When is it time? How is it when you're still cool with the other family? A lot of people have questions about all of that. Mike, we in there, Mike. Though, for real, that event, that's the perfect event to do a Takeover Legends pop out. We can invite a lot of people to come out. The listeners can come out. Tell the listeners come on out.
Look, I think Diamond want the smoke. Diamond want the smoke. Diamond want all the smoke. She want all the smoke.
She had a question. Go ahead.
So what were you going to ask me about the basketball? Go ahead.
Oh, my question was, is it a misconception that, of all the athletes that play professionally clear across the board for all the sports, is it just our perception that all the baby mamas have all of this drama? Because there's plenty of athletes that don't have any drama at all, but we just always hear about the 5 or 10, and there's way more athletes than 5 or 10. But those 5 or 10 are just big, blown out media, involved.
Headlines. Yeah.
But
okay, I think.
What about the other people who are just happily married, having kids?
I think I think unfortunately society, that's what society does. They will bring up the section of trauma and drama that goes on. But it's a reality when, like, have you ever heard of Horace Grant, former NBA great who played with Michael Jordan and
Chicago,
Orlando? He literally got his pension taken in his child support situation.
Yeah, everything up for grabs.
And I'm not just putting this on the women. I'm putting this on the irresponsible young men who run around like Anthony Edwards, who gets somebody else pregnant and then decides he wants to pay all 18 years in one shot and wants nothing to do with the child. And to me, that is a horrible person. He doesn't understand what he set himself up for, to have that documented that he said he wants nothing to do with his daughter. Mm-hmm. He just wants to pay off the 18 years because in 23 years, when that young girl comes back and comes to him and steps to him and says, what did I have to do with that you would say you don't want anything to do with me?
You don't want me, man.
Right.
My whole thing with the vasectomy, do I think it's drastic? Yes, it is. But there are just so many decisions that are being made and so many kids being brought into these situations that are so volatile that I just think you need to get this vasectomy and wait till you decide that this woman is the woman that you want to attempt to spend your life with. Not to attempt to spend it 3 o'clock in the morning till 3:45 in the morning with, not the one that you want to throw the baby oil on. The one that you actually think is the mother of your future kids. That's it. Now, do I think it's drastic? Absolutely.
Right.
But this whole world is drastic. But you got a good point. Jay Black had a question. I don't know if it's appropriate or not.
What was the question?
Why you gonna put me on? I was moving
because
on.
Once our
Why you preface the question like that? Jay Black got a question. I don't know if it's appropriate.
He wanted
No,
to talk about
it was a
Vanessa Bryant.
personal question, and I didn't want to be offensive because sometimes they say I overstep my boundaries, but
Every
sometimes I
show.
be thinking things.
Every show.
Every show.
And I didn't
Without fail. Without fail.
No,
Everybody got a role to play.
no, because when unfortunately life happens, and like when we look at Vanessa Bryant, we hold her to a certain pedestal and say, "Oh man, she can never date again after dating Kobe." It's like going through the trauma. Like, do you date? Are you single? Is like I don't even know how that process works. Is that okay for you to even speak to?
I feel like it is a lot of pressure on widows or widowers to date afterwards, and whether you can or not, you kind of feel like you can't, even if you wanted to or were interested in that, because everybody's kind of watching you to see who you're dating, or they're making the judgment for you, like, is that person good enough or are they not good enough? Or you kind of become a community for where we live, and we moved back to our hometown. We live like maybe 2 towns away, 2 exits away, so it is like everybody's kind of watching you and trying to figure out what you're doing. So that is very uncomfortable. Just transparently, it's very uncomfortable, because you can't really do anything. Even if you wanted to, you got to go far. Even if you were trying to, date or something like that, the pressure is kind of on your back.
Wow.
That's a good question.
All right, so here's the follow-up question. Has anybody come at you sideways since the passing of your husband?
Yes.
Everybody. What do you mean, like friends of the husband or somebody?
Like best friends? Like
no, come on, y'all.
Her facial expression.
Everybody.
Oh my God.
Oh, not the shady.
That's what you were saying, Kamari? You were saying like people.
That's what everybody says happens.
Wait. Diamond, let me get this straight. There are people directly trying to holler that are in the circle that were in the. Your mic, you
I wouldn't say they're in the circle. I would say they're like circle adjacent.
Yeah,
but they know. But they know. They know.
Yeah, they too close
I
to
would say they went to the funeral.
Oh no.
It happens all the time, yo.
But I will say that my late husband was very influential in the neighborhood. So at his funeral, he had like 600 people at the funeral.
Well, them 600 shouldn't holler.
So, but they were at the funeral. They were there. They were showing up. They were showing up. Balloon release. They was.
This is what disturbed. This is so disturbing to me. Everybody on this show knows every guest I've ever had. At some point, I'm gonna flirt with you.
Every time. You always do.
Every time. And I don't know you. I've met you once. But I know when you lost your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it, even jokingly, I made it a priority in my mind, Mike. Even if you find something funny, you put that in the. Don't you do that? So for a person to go to the funeral,
that's crazy,
and then be like on some old. I don't like to judge people morally, because I've done a lot of stuff that doesn't quote as good morals. But that just takes me someplace where I go like, God,
this weekend.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
They do. It put the tapes out on them, but they do. They're there.
Wow. Well,
yeah, they knew him. They might be following him and not following me on social media. Now they're like, hey, Diamond.
Hey, just
big head.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to be respectful. I'm still trying to be respectful because there's so much shit coming to my mind right now.
It's crazy though.
Sometimes dudes, you disappoint me because you take that shoulder to lean on simply because you really scheming. Like, it's not like they broke up. Like, dude, this is not like there was more than a girl.
So, Mike, that means we need to do a show on Bobby Womack and Sam Cooke.
No, we're never doing a show on that. That is the most disgusting. That's the most disgusting. Bobby Womack and it's disgusting. Well, thank you for being open, and hopefully we can have you back on the show. If you ever just want to join the show, let me know. If you have anything else you want us to promote for you, let me know. If you want to
back to the foundation, please. No, Mo said back to the foundation, please.
That was amazing.
Frame the Future Foundation.
We gotta try and make
Put it back up now. Now you gotta put it back up.
Yeah,
July
Frame the
11th is going
Future.
down.
Yes.
Put the flyer too.
There you go. July 11th, the Madison.
Let's talk about it for real
Lafayette.
though. As a show, let's talk about it for real though, y'all. I think that
Yeah,
was
what's going on at the event?
And I finished reading the damn flyer. Let me read the flyer? So I gotta go to work, y'all. The Madison, 33 Lafayette Street, Riverside, New Jersey. Make sure you go there. Put the website on. If you can't make the event, we love you to make the event. If you want to donate, it's framethefuturefoundation.com. Go there. You can make your donations. Diamond, thank you so much. And our prayer. And hopefully we will see you. We will see you next Friday.
Yes, Friday. I'm gonna be looking for y'all.
All right, just keep the bar open a little extra for Jay Black. He's got a drink.
All right. Are you gonna wear sneakers? We'll see.
No, I'm gonna wear shoes. If I wear shoes, you give me a little 15-minute extra open bar.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Bam. Commitment. We in the house.
This is a bad show. Thank you, Diamond. Diamond, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
She's cool though. She was cool. We got in trouble with Mo though. We got in trouble with Mo.
Motherfuckers.
She kept it real.
This is why you got to keep your girl away from everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, that hurt me. That hurt me.
You got to keep them away from.
You can't even die in peace.
I don't even fuck with y'all like
that. No.
Bro. This is why I don't fuck with y'all. This is why Jay Black makes it that I don't even know where he lives. I understand now. See, I understand.
Nobody. You gotta just be careful.
What we doing?
Lady Q, yeah. If you ever need anything, Lady Q, let me know. You know, he always like a brother to me. You know how we do.
Happens all the time. Plus. All the time.
You know we do. They ordering extra shirts now. I'm pick up my order. Pick up my order.
What's the website again? It's woke up inspired. Oh, now you don't know it. Woke up inspired. Oh yeah.
Let me write it down. Put it in my phone. Put it in my phone.
Put it in my phone.
You put it in my phone.
Text it to me.
Text it to me. If you need some help making the shirts, holler at me because I know.
All right,
Jay.
All right, we stop.
Chill.
We're doing too much. We playing too much.
But now we got to pop out. That's a dope event. Can we film? Last question. I know we got to go, Mike. Can we broadcast live? And do we need to make some moves in the meantime so that we could pop out for the first time with our microphone?
I'm barely broadcasting from my house. How do you think we gonna broadcast?
I'm just saying.
All you need is a tripod. All it is a cell phone on a stand.
And a little clip-on mics. The little cordless joints, the little fuzzy.
The little mic. Yeah.
The little set of those fuzzies. Plug in a little mini.
I was gonna think we was gonna get footage and then play it on the show, but we can
do that too. We could do that too.
Yeah, but I'm saying we film a lot of clips. We can get a nice little episode going. We say, remember the lady who said this and who gave the biggest donation? Remember the lady?
Can we ask all the people how you feel about baby oil? Can we just go around?
All of that, yeah. Did he do it? Before you go, thank you for your donation. But did he do it?
No, but she got needs. LaShawn said she wouldn't look at anyone if she went through that. But as Lady Q say, whatever. Vanessa Bryan got needs, but like she said, you might have to go travel a couple towns over. Hey, I'm gonna meet you over in Lindenwood, New Jersey, at the Hyatt. Like and then we can go to dinner. And
I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. All right. Love me before I am. We'll see you tomorrow. Wait a second. Tomorrow is Cash App Friday, but I'm thinking, should I just delay it till next Friday because it's 4th of July?
Oh, it's 4th of July. You can't
do it for the holiday. I think the perfect day to do it. Everybody's off for the holiday. Everybody in giving mood.
Special for the holidays.
Yeah, celebratory giving mood. It's a celebration.
Juneteenth is
I might be on for 5 minutes because I didn't tell y'all real quick. This is my last day. I'm moving out the office.
Well, damn.
So I got to find another way to get my Wi-Fi right. Maybe I'll be like on campus in the library or something. They open early enough, but I'm gonna figure that out. I might actually buy a modem for the first time. But yeah, my frat brothers are coming to move me today, and we're gonna all pack up the truck.
All right, so I'm gonna do Cash App Friday.
All the books gotta go.
All the books gotta go. All the books. Get all the books. Get them out of here. All right, I really
Kamari got books too. Kamari.
Cash App Friday is
books. Protect the books.
All right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, fuck y'all. Y'all don't get
it. The show is that good. Nobody want to leave.
Y'all motherfuckers don't understand. I really got a fucking job that I got to get to, and y'all think
Michael, Sean, and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.